Welcome to another Sit Discuss podcast.
Sup?
It's been a week, and both of us have accomplished our various tasks. Which
What are those tasks?
I literally didn't do anything.
I have no answer.
I have nothing to say to this. I started this question with no follow-up, but the
This is not the setup to a joke.
no.
It was the setup to a joke. It just didn't have any planned payoff or body or 2 hours of the podcast.
Whew. All right, but no. The only thing I've done was play Super Seducer. What about you?
It bothers. That's just
Yeah.
yeah. I've played a lot of games. So many games. I have all the games.
Any of
I
them
have the
good?
best games. I played a weird game.
Okay.
No one in my audience has seen this yet, except they will have by the time this podcast goes up because it takes time to go up, and we don't live stream these podcasts. Although we could, I know we can't.
No.
Now that we could record, we live stream the audio of the podcast. We can't live stream the video because the video is a camera that's sitting over there.
I technically could live stream the video. Yes.
Yeah. Not that important, I guess. I was playing Legendary Gary.
Legendary Gary.
Legend Gary.
Explain to me what this game is.
Legendary Dairy.
Legendary Dairy? Is it Legendary Dairy? Because that would be an actually good name for a video
Legendary
game.
Dairy?
Yeah, Legendary Dairy.
Just a dairy.
I would remember
it's a dairy
that.
that's run by Gary.
I don't know.
His name's Legend Gary, and he runs a dairy.
It just sounds like something I would remember more than Legendary Gary.
I just got it in my inbox one day, and it was like, hey, I was the programmer on one of the programmers in The Last of Us, and like the programmer of of Edith Finch and stuff like that. I was like, all right.
Okay.
And I looked at the pictures, and it's like, yeah, I drew all this. He just drew the whole game by hand. The guy that programmed Edith Finch, or was a programmer on Edith Finch, just did all the art for the entire game over the course of years by hand.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's one of those ones. It ain't pixel art. It is hand drawn. Like, looks like some sort of weird like. It looks like an Adult Swim interstitial. Like it looks like the most bizarre. I'd almost compare it to the one human character in Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Oh,
it's like,
yeah, Carl.
There's a guy standing there, and he's like kind of stylized, but kind of photorealistic. Like he looks rotoscoped, kind of.
Yeah,
like the whole game's like that. But you'll see like giant babies with butterfly wings, or a bullfrog, which is a bullfrog centaur, which is a bull and a frog. Which is a giant, like, minotaur-shaped person, but their flesh is bullfrog-looking, and their bottom part, instead of being a centaur body, is the body of a frog. So it's a giant frog body with a minotaur torso sticking out of where the head would be.
Okay.
And he's wearing a golden minotaur mask over his face. It's like... That's a visual. You can bring it up in your Discord because it's the picture I sent you for that using the thumbnail.
Yeah, I remember.
So I was like, this, but the bullfrog body is hidden a little bit for you, and because it was behind the one dude, which is just a guy in a wife beater and like chains, like he's wearing like a gold chain around his neck and a wife beater and a hat.
What is the game?
I use those in the thumbnail because I'm like, okay, weird minotaur monster, guy in a wife beater. Just gonna put those next to each other to try to illustrate what this game is a little bit because it's weird. You play as a guy. He lives in his mom's basement, literally,
as we all do,
and he's approaching 30,
as we all do.
And he's a gamer and he plays video games,
we all are.
He has his basement room with his bed there and all of his video games there and stuff like that. And he's got like stoner friends and a girlfriend and stuff. Just a really standard life.
Pretty decent life so far, yeah.
But
doesn't pay rent, has a bunch of games, has social circles. Like, I don't know what the problem here is.
The setup is that he needs to get his life together.
Does he? I mean, his life seems pretty together.
But he's playing a game called, I think it's called Spear of Destiny or something like that, or Legend of I don't know.
I think Spear of Destiny is like a Wolfenstein expansion.
It's got kind of a generic sounding name, but he pops on his computer and he plays like this tactical RPG where you have a squad of people, and like it's got a cool system where it's like a turn-based it's like a turn-based tactical game, like one of those like top-down, everyone standing on tiles type of tactical RPGs.
So like Final Fantasy Tactics?
But it's Frozen Synapse, where you tell everyone their actions simultaneously.
Okay.
And you can preview what it'll look like when you do it, and then you hit go, and everyone goes at the same time, including your enemies.
That's kind of cool.
So it's a cool system.
Yeah.
To the point where and it's meant to emulate the kind of ducking and weaving and counterattacking that you see in like really cool like fist fights and stuff like that. It's like you'll weave around the guy and prep an attack. It's like you'll specifically be moving in preparation of your follow-up attacks to like avoiding their move while simultaneously pressing. Like you have a move called wind up, because you have your main character has a strong punch.
Okay.
But the strong punch move can only be used after a wind up.
So he has to
he has to do a one turn wind up like he's charging a solar beam.
Yeah.
But the wind up move moves you a tile.
Oh.
So you can move in any direction by one tile doing the wind up. So you'll be dodging their attack and hitting them. Then when you finish the fight, it does a super hot style replay in real time of the
like everything
fight.
going super fast.
Of like all the ducking and weaving and dodging and hopping and everything happening.
That's probably like the best time to use that system.
It's pretty cool.
It's like that sounds really interesting to watch that play.
The game has a lot of multi-turn actions. Like the bullfrog will jump into the air and land next turn.
Okay.
And do a shockwave around him.
Okay.
So you'll see him where he's going to land, and you have to like avoid the shockwave, or you have to like you can buff somebody to have like poise so that they won't be affected by the shockwave, so they can just get in there and stuff like that.
Huh.
And people will do projectiles, and you'll quickly realize the projectiles aren't just they don't just shoot off and then they're gone. They're moving across the map turn by turn. They have like a movement speed.
Oh god.
So like somebody will shoot at like a nova of projectiles in the 6 directions, because it's a hex game, and you can like go between them and then duck in and stuff like that while the projectiles are still moving. And so it's really organic and cool. And that's not even the point of the game. It's just there.
That's just part of it.
Because the point of this game is that you are playing as the guy in real life and playing his video game. And you're going back and forth between the two. And the two of them affect each other.
Oh.
So it's one of those, like, I've tried to things, like examples of it, but there's like all these, especially like movies and stuff like that. There'll be like, Wizard of Oz is the obvious one, but there's a lot of other ones that have happened since, where there's these movies where somebody will enter a book or a fictional world or a dream or an alternate dimension or something, and there'll be like analogs of their other life people in that other world.
Yes,
like it's a reoccurring thing.
It's a trope. It's a trope in a lot of stories where like the person like sees their friends or their family and like in this fictional world or a dream or a whatever.
Yeah.
And
so like your party member is like your mom and your girlfriend. Are your two party members that I've found so far, and like you'll like your stoner friends that tempt you to waste the day getting high and stuff like that are like boss characters basically.
Perfect.
in the game, and like you'll encounter them in the game and in real life like the same day. So like it's not just that the same people are in both stories, but like the actual story you're playing in the game is analogous in its like change from place to place and stuff like that, and characters to in your real world version.
Are you like having delusions or
to the point where like you can encounter answers to questions in the game in real life or vice versa? Like
so you're like clearly having a psychotic breakdown.
It's like the guy's like, is somebody messing with me? Or like he'll have like moments of like, that guy said the thing that's the same thing from the game, but in real life he must have played the game too, or something like that. Like there's a progression to his reactions over time. Like he must be like, oh yeah, I guess they played that game too, or that was weird how they said the same thing and stuff like that. But then over time it's like, okay, this is getting weird now. And he takes longer to think it's weird than I do, but admittedly, I know he's fictional, so so it's easier for me to pick this stuff together.
I know his existence is not real.
Jumping to the conclusion that I jumped to as a player is a little. You'd be a little unhinged if you jump straight to those kinds of conclusions in real life.
I don't know, because if your mom was in a video game, I think it's not an unhinged situation.
So it's not literally his mom. It's just really obvious his mom.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying
they're both religious zealots as like characters. I'm like, but also the game tips its hand a little bit and gives you a little bit of a cheat, which is that characters are often a little color coded.
Oh, okay.
It's like, it's the two blue people that wear yellow. It's like, it's like because that's the two blue blobby monsters.
Oh,
and stuff
so
like
it has like a color scheme.
Yeah, like your mom and the priest lady are both blue.
Okay,
and your girlfriend is like yellow, tan, and you're like red and stuff like that. So you
that makes sense.
So you can kind of pick them out a little faster.
Yeah.
But yeah, like what happens almost immediately is that your mom is like, she's been listening to podcasts, and her religious podcast has told her that the world's going to end. So she donated all of your money and her money, like your household's money, to that religion's charity. So you have to go back to your depressing job at the supermarket.
Why would you donate money if the world was ending? For what purpose does the money now serve in the hands of another person? Why don't you just keep it for yourself and enjoy life before the world ends?
I don't know. But you
can't that can't be a convincible thing, right? Like, people can't fall for that.
But people do donate to apocalypse religions.
Well, they do, but they don't. I mean, you can't convince a person. Like, no rational.
You mean you can't convince them why they're wrong if they're doing that at that point?
I mean, yeah, but like, you also can't argue that you're not, like, if a government was, or somebody was to sue them, you can't claim that you weren't not taking advantage of someone who was mentally incompetent. Like, you're taking advantage of mentally handicapped people if you can convince a person to seriously donate money during an apocalypse. You can't make the logical connection there, right? You can't, as a rational thinking person, you can't go, right, if I donate my money to them when the apocalypse happens.
I mean, an issue with a lot of religious stuff to begin with is that you can't approach it logically to begin with. Like, you're talking to people that aren't speaking from that level to begin with. Like, that's not how they approach it.
I mean, even if you approach it on a dumb level, I guess you could.
It's like a false equivalency at that point. Like, you can't, it's like, it doesn't work that way.
Like, church no longer exists.
I get what you're going
money
for,
can't
but
happen.
I know religious people, and it's just like, yeah, you just kind of just learn to not ever talk about it because it's impossible to talk about.
I just don't talk to them.
It's a little harder when they're family, or like most of your family.
That's who they are. So I just don't talk to them.
Like I've told you about the Seventh-day Adventists that are up in the hills in their commune, which are my family.
But they're having a good time.
God, I worry.
Do you?
They've got a healing house.
Which is fine. I mean,
no, because it's like they think that their weird like veggie foods and praying are gonna fix cancer and stuff like that. And it's like,
I think I went to one of those. I think that was like at Disneyland.
No, you're killing.
Ever been to Disneyland?
I'm pretty sure they're killing people. Have you ever been to Disneyland?
Have you?
The laughter that cures disease.
No. It's like there's a healing house there.
I haven't been to Disneyland since I was like 8.
It's like,
so basically no.
What is it called? It's like that. It's the Tiki Bar. Yeah.
The other thing I remember about, I think, Disneyland, but it also could have been Marine World, and I don't really even know, is that at some point I saw a 3D Michael Jackson thing.
That
there's like a Michael Jackson like movie thing. There was like a floating fuzzball creature at one point, and it was just all like, it was a 3D thing. You watch it in 3D.
That was definitely Marine World.
Was that Marine World?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember which one's which.
It wasn't 3D, it was 4D. Excuse you.
4D? That means it vibrates?
Well, yeah, you're in a theater that has like vibrating chairs, and they spray mist at you and shit like that.
I remember I saw the dinosaur 4D.
Yeah, right?
I just was bored.
The dinosaur 4D thing was awesome.
It was longer than I needed it to be or something. At some point I was like, all right, I'm just getting thrown around a lot now.
It was great. It was great. I love those.
How does no one get hurt ever?
I almost want
like 40 theaters with just adults. I'm like, all right, sure, but like a bunch of like once you mix kids, I'm like, isn't someone gonna like get like under a chair or something and just get like crushed? Like I don't know.
No, it is not easy to do that.
Kids are stupid.
They're solid. They're like solid.
I never get to look at them because the whole room's black.
Yeah,
like you never get to see what they look like.
We almost when we went to Japan, we almost went to watch the One Piece movie in 4D. They had that as an option. And
it feels weird when it's a 2D animated thing.
The best part is it does simulate the smell of cigarette smoke when like Sanji's smoking a cigarette, and I was like, that's awesome. Kids need that.
That's a trigger.
Yeah. Well, now it would be, but back then it wasn't. Back then I was living it up in Japan. I don't think I think that was like the one complaint.
Like unsolicited like 4D movie that's like, here's the smell of 7 types of alcohol. It's like ruined someone's life.
I mean, that was like my one.
Like, they were 12 years sober, but that 4D movie just fucked them up.
If I went now, I'd be really upset. But I mean, no, I don't think. I think that was like the one complaint my family had was like, there's not a single picture of me in Japan where I'm not smoking a cigarette.
Mm-hmm.
I think
that's how you took selfies.
Well,
You
yeah.
only take selfies with sunglasses and a cigarette every single time, to the point where it's like, for all I know, you're in a green screen, and you just backlogged like 200 photos like a year ago, and you just keep putting different pictures behind them of
Kel was there.
stock photos.
Kel was there with
Kel's
me.
in stock photos.
Just on a daily. You'll run into him sometimes.
Also, Kel would totally like. He's the type of dude that would back you up on that shit and like take a bunch of selfies that you're not in. And
That's true.
Put you
He
in them.
probably would do
He
that.
would totally make like, okay, the left half of this frame is going to be empty because Andrew's selfie from 3 years ago is going to be in there to prove to his family he's still alive, and definitely leaves the house.
That was another joke of when I was in France and people were like, Andrew's dead. It's like, what is the assumption that I'm dead instantly? It's like I leave and it's like, he's gone just forever. Goodbye. I was like, that's not him. Another person wearing his skin. Like that.
You've been replaced by the French.
Some
No one
French
would
person.
notice, right? It's so comparable and similar.
Yeah, because there's plenty of French people with my body type. Skeleton.
Oh
Like,
God.
But yeah, you shouldn't. Basically, the point is that religious zealots are scary. So
Thank you for that lesson.
in the game, there's a religious zealot mother, and everybody else. So everybody else is just a character. So when you're playing when you're not playing the top-down tactics-based version, what is the human thing?
So in the human part, it's more like night. Like it's a lot like Night in the Woods.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Where
Is it
you're
just
like-
like Night in the Woods? You're just walking
you're kind
around
of-
talking.
You're kind of like interacting with the variety of characters that are in your life, and also trying to like move forward
Okay.
while simultaneously in the game. You're doing the game part, which is weird because Night in the Woods also had a weird like thing where you go to your computer and you could play Demon Tower. Like there was a video game in Night in the Woods, but it was never the point. Like I don't think Demon Tower could ever affect Night in the Woods in any way. It was just a weird thing. They just made Demon Tower. It's like, fuck it, we'll put it in Night in the Woods for some reason.
It's kind of like how Wolfenstein always has Turkey Puncher in it, where you can just like do a stupid arcade game for 10, 15 minutes if you want to, but it has no impact to the game besides wasting your time.
Yep.
But
what brings them together is like there's the obvious story parallel thing where that stuff's happening, and I don't know where that'll ultimately go because I haven't finished the whole game yet. I'm only 2 hours in.
Okay.
But
regardless, you wouldn't want to spoil it for potential watchers.
But what binds the two of them together mechanically is you have a resource called motivation.
Okay.
And it expands both of them.
So when you do things in the real world, you can become demotivated or more motivated.
Yes.
And that will impact your ability to play the other game and vice versa.
So motivation only affects you in real life.
Okay.
But it can be affected by the game.
So the game. So
ways.
if you're doing bad in the game, you could become demotivated, which then makes it harder to do the real life game.
What basically happens is that when you accomplish things in the game, you gain a point of motivation each time.
Okay.
But if you do stuff like stay up too late playing in the game, you lose motivation from sleep deprivation.
Okay.
Whereas you can also gain motivation from being well rested. And you can also gain motivation from just like making the right call in real life.
It's like a board game on top of this.
It kind of is, yeah. Like you'll make decisions in the real life, then those can both move your motivation up and down. Like guilt drops your motivation and stuff like that, and like things that you do like that, like you disappoint people and that drops your motivation. Like
it sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah, like I had a thing where my friends came over to do drugs, and it had the highest motivation requirement I've ever seen for a dialogue choice, because it tells you how much motivation you need and how much you have during the dialogue choice to be able to win that dialogue. Because you get branching dialogue where it'll be like, here's your handful of options, and then here's your motivation choice if it exists, and it'll tell you why you don't qualify for it.
Oh.
And so I was at like 13 out of 14 for motivation for not doing drugs. And I knew my girlfriend was coming over that day, and I was supposed to like I should have shooed them away to get them to go away because I already have plans right now. So she comes by thinking that I forgot, and because I was doing drugs with them because I couldn't resist it. But this all happened because I stayed up last night too late playing video games and lost that 1 point that would have made the difference. Then I lose 3 motivation for disappointing my girlfriend. And it's like son of a bitch. And it's like equal parts fair and unfair of like it's just shit comes at you and you don't know what to do, which is exactly how motivation mechanics should work.
Well, yeah, I mean, life is not planned or scripted. Yeah. So sometimes, that 1 point is all that matters, and you just oops, fuck.
It's It's compelling and interesting.
It sounds interesting.
It's got a really weird synth pop soundtrack that I think was made just for the game. And it sounds like Beck. It sounds like
Beck.
It sounds like indie Beck.
Okay.
Yeah, it's playing, and it plays in the video game. Like you'll be doing a fight, and like kind of Beck starts playing, and you're like, "All right, this shouldn't work, but it works." Because I'm playing as a priest man that's punching a bullfrog minotaur centaur monster while like Beck music plays and like they're doing kung fu moves and everything. I'm like, sure. Everyone's like, that guy's blue, that guy's red. Like the color scheme and weird art, Adult Swim art style all comes together to make it. It's like it's that specific thing where like it doesn't work in such a specific way that it works. Like,
oh, okay,
none of these things inherently go together, but they clearly like just put. They instead of going with the tropes or like what's known to work of like put these things together because that's what like fantasy music you do an orchestra, someone casts magic, there's a guy with a shield.
Yeah.
This one is like it's like they held up paint to a room until they saw a color that worked. You're like, oh shit, that works. Didn't know that one would work. And like that kind of thing.
Yeah. So you just try. I bet it was somebody just took whoever made the music probably just made like 4 different genre samples.
Could be.
Like not full songs, but just like 4 different genre samples and played it over the game. Yeah. And then the person played it over the game. I don't know if
it's made specifically the game or if they like licensed it.
Either way, you still go, you really grab a handful and you're just like, blep, 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 that one works.
But it's been a fun surprise. I try to like show surprise games that no one knows about sometimes. Like I am the only Let's Player for Pipe Push Paradise.
Still?
Yeah, there's like 6 one-off like things,
just like
because
first looks or whatever.
There's YouTube channels that just are like they just cover every game.
Yeah, they just go and play every new game just once, so that way they can get the views.
So you have like stream VODs or the things where it's just like I cover every single game one by one, and every single one of them gets like stuck immediately, and on like the third puzzle, and just like and then the video ends.
Yeah,
but I'm getting through the whole guide. I'm on the last puzzle now, and I've been on the last puzzle for a while now.
Oh.
Admittedly, I don't try every day. It's like I
don't try every day. It's not a daily like Sudoku puzzle that you try.
I'm not trying. I'm not bashing my head against the same puzzle every day because I have to do my whole other schedule and everything.
Yeah,
I'm sitting here looking at the backlog. I'm like, oh fuck, my backlog of Pipe Push Paradise is running out, and I still haven't actually solved the final puzzle. Like for all I know, it'll just like cut to a different puzzle game, and then out of nowhere, the finale of Pipe Push Paradise will happen in the middle of another playthrough.
I'm sure you could get it down. You just have to grunt and bear the unfortunate, which is you might just have to spend like time away from the game actually thinking about the game solution.
It's a brutal game because that game's a 3D Sokoban, like Yeah.
Ooh.
Because like there's a whole genre called Sokoban where you push blocks around and shit.
Yeah.
I've never played a real version of it ever. Like, what are you looking at? What are you looking at?
Sorry,
How dare you?
That was an email from one of the Q&A questions.
It's the only thing that got more douchey.
What?
Smartwatches.
There
was like, looking at phones, and there's looking at like there's the Bluetooth and a bunch of other things. But then people were like, yeah, this is me not valuing our time together. Like the gesture involved with checking your message on a watch is to be like, I got somewhere to be.
Someone literally just told me I have somewhere to be, and I could see on my phone.
Because like you're checking your watch over and over again, and it's like I get it, but like because I can see it. It's a weird nightmare mega watch. Like it does the shape's all wrong and shit to just be a regular watch.
Is it? Like, I feel like this is the closest.
It might be your wrist. It might be your wrist.
It's probably my wrist. I was gonna say like I think the watch is actually like if you look at the iWatch like that Apple Watch or something, it's like a square and it's tiny and you're like
it might be the stick bug nature of what the wrist is on.
Yeah, it's like. It is a fat watch comparatively. Yeah, this is like the smallest watch face I can get.
I'm sitting here like, we're not 2 hours in yet. I assure you.
No. I have the podcast. Like a lot of podcast questions have come in.
Oh shit!
On here.
Shit! What are we gonna do?
Probably answer them later.
Yeah,
but
like I never played a real Sokomon game before.
Like down like
I played Sokomon mini games in other games for a second.
Yeah, that's it's
like Nier or 999. You push a block around for.
I mean, Pipe Dream does that too. Where Pipe Dream it shows up in like a bunch of games that no one. I don't think a lot of people have actually sat down and played PipeDream.exe.
That was actually an issue I saw. I looked at like, I think it was like a PR problem this game has is that I saw like a I don't know if it was Kotaku or Rock Paper Shotgun or something. I saw some sort of article about Pipe Push Paradise, and all the comments are about like it's just Pipe Dream, whatever. And it's like, no, just being about pipes does not make you the same game. Like, because mechanically, Pipe Dream is a game where you rotate a bunch of tiles in place to make them line up correctly to do a line. Like, we all did it in Bioshock and 500 other games.
Pipe Dream and Sokoban are very different games.
Yes, they are.
They're very different genres of games, let me assure you.
You saw Steven Sausage Roll, right?
Yeah.
So like, that game was cool because that was the one where you had to push you had to push the sausage, and every time you pushed it, lengthwise it would just slide, but if you pushed it like on its long side, it would roll over.
Yeah.
And you had to cook.
You had to cook both sides.
It was 2 tiles long and it had a top and a bottom. So you had to cook both sides on grills, and you had to deal with the fact that like the act of rolling it over on the grill would be an issue because if you rolled it, it would also displace itself off of the grill. So like, is there a grill behind it? And like, that was the whole puzzle, was figuring out that stuff. And the game was brilliant because much like Witness, it had like 50 more mechanics that were going to slowly layer in without ever telling you about them. And then you'd be like, fuck. Whereas like Witness, it was more obvious because in Witness, this is a new thing. What's the new thing mean?
Every world had its own new like puzzle.
There was like new symbols. So you're like, okay, this is clearly new mechanic time because what is that?
What is that?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And then you see the tutorial wall.
Well, it's also because it's open world.
Yeah.
So you can encounter the new stuff before knowing.
Sausage Roll is also open world.
Is it?
Yeah.
You can just pick whatever
you
puzzle.
You can just go to any puzzle you feel like, basically. There are some gating to it, but like it's at least non-linear.
That's absurd.
I think you might have to beat each world in order or something, but there's not.
Oh, okay.
But it is like you have an overworld, and the overworld has the levels in it. The entire overworld is all of the levels mashed together.
Okay.
And like end to end. And you can walk onto the one, and you just take yourself to this starting point that's shaped like your character, and then the rest of the world drops into the ocean, and only that one island that is the level you went to is there.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Yeah, it is terrifying.
You just killed a bunch of other islands.
And in that game, you'd kind of periodically be like, okay, this is clearly impossible, and that's when you have to innovate and realize that there's a whole new secret you didn't even realize.
There's a whole new like mechanic or style to play.
The number of times Steven Sausage Roll do that was amazing. Like, there was, like, 8 times where it's just like, fuck, that was there the whole time? Like, I could just do that this whole game?
Yeah.
Which wasn't always true because the level wasn't always shaped in a way where you could do it, but it was there. But
it's just figuring it out. But, like, once you know, then you go, like, your brain starts your brain adds the new number to the equation and goes like, oh, now there's a fucking solution.
Things are expanding. My options list is growing.
Yeah.
And I think it's cool when a game can do that organically. Like, I think it's always cool, regardless, to add features to your puzzle game. But like, there's 2 different ways of doing it. Like, one of the ways of doing it is like the Witness way, or the Portal way, or the Cube way, where it's like, oh, this is obviously a new mechanic. It's a weird arrow or something, or it's a blob shooter.
It's more intrusive. Like it wants you to make sure you get that new mechanic before you continue.
Like, oh, orange paint.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
You can't walk through Portal without knowing what the mechanics are. Yeah. They will not let you.
Where Steven Sausage Roll was crazy because the new mechanic would just be like, you just find it.
Yeah.
Because like there was no orange paint. Like
it's just natural. It's just they're naturally there, but you have to naturally.
Orange paint would be the level would be shaped in a slightly different way. Like literally, like just the squares that make up the cliffs and everything would be shaped in a slightly different way that they'd make something possible you couldn't do before.
Oh, like you could probably roll it in a certain way.
Yeah, like
you couldn't roll it before.
There's certain tricks you can do. And technically they were always there, but technically the level wasn't shaped in a way that would let you do that kind of trick.
Yeah.
Like, and like, so it's like you'd find some of them organically or even on accident, but oftentimes that is the first time they were technically possible, but not in any sort of signposted way.
Yeah.
It'd just be like they got so many like aha moments jammed in that game organically.
Which is, I think that's pretty good for a puzzle game. That's what you want in a puzzle game is something that like you want, I like Portal and I hate Witness for various different reasons, but like there are a lot of puzzle games that I do enjoy where you just find stuff out and you just because it gives you that feeling.
Tokitori?
Tokitori's like, well, no, Tokitori
specifically I've heard Tokitori 2 is like a non-linear like Metroidvania type environment where technically you can there's a bunch of things that seem impossible that you can't technically do at the beginning because you just haven't learned about those yet.
Oh, I haven't played Tokitori 2 yet. I've only played 1. And 1 is very...
Plus is the one that's always recommended constantly.
Yeah, one is very Portal-like, where it's like, okay, here's the things. Do the things with the things. And it's like, okay.
You're in a box. You can't leave the box to do the thing.
And it's frustrating.
Talos Principle.
Talos Principle.
What's liberating about Talos Principle was realizing you weren't actually stuck in the box.
Yes.
Which is also what Portal did sometimes, too.
Yeah, but Talos Principle at least introduces things to you somewhat more organically than Portal does.
You'll just see something in the hub world and you're like, the fuck?
Yeah.
We're not in a puzzle.
Yeah.
Why is the puzzle stuff in the hub world?
You're just like, what is this?
Then you realize that you can like escape or something.
You can also
throw something over walls.
You can also use items from different puzzles in different puzzles.
Or sometimes just realizing you can point a laser just out of a puzzle.
Yeah, that like puzzles don't have walls to them. You can just be like, and go that way, and it just does.
There's some cool shit in there.
Yeah, Talos Principle is a really good example of like a hybrid between natural.
They're making it too.
Are they?
Yeah.
Cool. There's like Talos Principle is a good hybrid between like the naturally finding new things you can do versus like it's still linear. Like there are still puzzle rooms you go through, but finding out how certain mechanics work somewhat is like you just find it out naturally. It doesn't. No one shows up and goes like, "Hey, by the way, you do that." It doesn't in like the first area.
Backfire so hard.
Oh yeah, it can backfire
if
real bad.
If something's not explained, then you always have some people that will like never understand what's going to happen next.
I mean,
what's going on.
Yeah, I'm one of those kind of people that like I'll always, no matter what, I'll always hit a dead end at some point. Like Talos Principle, I hit a dead end.
I mean, you hit a dead end in the first 2 minutes of The Witness.
Yeah, but
you hit the segregation walls, and you're like, I don't.
That's more of a desire to not because
to not.
It's more of like me. It's kind of like how
you didn't want to be good at it.
Yeah, I just didn't want to play Witness, and I like.
Why did you?
Well, because it's like it's a puzzle game. No. People kept saying it's a good one. And I want to show like no, it's not a good puzzle game.
Your brain's weird.
So, but it's like it's why I don't play Myst is because I don't like I could play Myst, but I don't want to. So then I'll struggle finding the solutions because my brain's like no, stop playing Myst. I'm not going to show you how to do it. And it's like, come on. But I'll sit there and play Portal, and I'm just like, yeah, I get it. It's right there. And someone else would be like, I haven't even had a chance to absorb the puzzle, and it's. So there are times where you can...
You have solved puzzles when I've been in the room before I even noticed what the puzzle was.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, well...
so I mean,
it's like the escape room feeling of like, I could replay the escape room, I guess, because I don't know what the puzzle was. we're talking about the idea... Marty and I were talking about the idea of like getting my family to go to the Whispering Halls for my birthday.
Yeah.
Because one, it gives me and Marty a chance to see a bunch of the puzzles we never did. But also, it gives me a chance to do a repeat experiment of what I did last year, which is getting a bunch of people that are not the age group for video games and puzzle games or even escape rooms, and just putting them in there anyway, and just seeing how things work out without like spoiling an escape room for myself.
Yeah,
so that I can go with my friends. So we might do that, and then might give you a call if we have the right slot count or something, because I'm trying to figure that out still.
Oh yeah, I forgot that escape room we did.
You've been to Whispering Halls too already, so it's like you're not missing anything necessarily.
Yeah,
but you'd probably make the trip if there was a slot or something.
Oh yeah, I'd do that.
I'm trying to figure out who will go or not, because my family's so spread out. You have to check with every single person to see if they'll come. Yeah,
that's true.
Like
I'm trying to think like what was. Oh yeah, that was was it the second one?
It's the giant one.
Wait, the Whispering...
We can't say anything specific about it because it spoils for people, and that's cool. But like it was the significantly larger of the two that we played.
Yeah.
The first one was Containment Breach.
Right. That was a lot smaller.
The Whispering Halls was the one that went down to the wire, and we're all in a tiny room together at the end, like all cheering on one last thing. Like, are we gonna make it in time? And like,
yeah, we're like,
it was during the last minute.
Yeah, it was the last minute. We were all crowded in a hallway that was not meant for more than like 3 people.
Because it's a 12-person.
Yeah, it's like a 12-person room.
12-person escape room, and we were all down to the same last puzzle because we were ready, and we did it.
Yeah,
we did it, and it was hype.
Yeah, I remember there was a lot of times where it was like that was one of the
shit happened that you never got to see happen.
Yeah,
it was like because there were so many people solving puzzles at once.
Yeah, I had to keep track of all this stupid shit too, which is a problem because people would do stuff and I'd have to if I would see someone like complete a puzzle, I'm like, what did you just do?
Yeah, what did you do?
You have to explain it to me.
Which of the things do we use up?
And so it's like someone would be like, I just put this code in, thank you, and I have to like keep going through because I'm afraid.
We haven't talked about escape rooms yet, have we? We should probably do
Not
that.
Really, no, yeah.
We did it a little bit on the other podcast, but it was with people that haven't done escape rooms, so it's just me talking at people about escape rooms, basically.
Yeah.
Which is a reoccurring problem on the other podcast, too, is just like let's all talk about video games we played lately at Bird, because he hasn't played any of them and stuff, or especially Shell. And it's like, that's the thing. But this is our chance to talk about specifically escape rooms, because you've been to like 4?
Yes, I've been to 4 of them. Oh, I did 2 of the ones at the place thing.
And I've been to like, I think like 8 or something.
So I've been to 2 at the Enchambered place.
Yeah,
and then I did
the best place ever.
Yeah, and then I did. Yeah, it is the best place ever.
I've been to other ones now. Nothing fucking matches it.
Yeah, highly recommended. We did that.
Seriously,
really.
If you're in the Sacramento area, I say this.
Art and Arcade.
I say this like every week.
It's Art and Arcade area. No, it's different.
I mean, like the Sacramento area of California.
Okay, if you're in Northern California by Sacramento and you go to Art and Arcade,
you travel a bit for escape rooms. I don't mean like if you're on the block and just gonna walk in, like you make reservations and you travel for escape rooms. It's like an event.
Well, yeah,
you have to organize like 12 friends.
I'm just saying,
or 3 or something is in the room.
It depends. Yeah.
But like, yeah, Enchambered is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's so good. They have 3 rooms now, and they set the standard for what I've seen so far.
Yeah, I haven't been to the 3rd room.
Absurdly good. Were you at the bad one?
No, I wasn't at the bad one that you guys went to.
You were. Yeah, you started with Enchambered.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I basically started at Enchambered. We told you about the bad one before, right? Like Chunky Loves Treasure and stuff like that.
Yeah. And then because we did the 2 Enchambered, we did the Zelda one, which was
God. I remember I opened a chest.
Shit show.
I opened a chest at the shitty one, and there was like, and I don't even care about spoiling shit about this place because it's not worth going to. Don't go to Skeleton Key.
Can you spoil it? Because when you were describing it to me,
it's really bad.
Yeah, the puzzles didn't seem like they're actually.
One of the puzzles was like, "What makes me special?" And there was like a Cyclops and a Cerberus and a Hydra, and it's like, wow, things that have a specific number of body parts. And each statue is the color of one of the numbers on this combination lock. I wonder what the combination to the lock is. I'm like, I hate you. I hate you and I'm mad at you.
Yeah.
Like, I had never been to another escape room before and I already knew this was a bad one.
I don't even know how to judge quality, but this one's bad.
What really tipped it off is when we were stuck for 30 minutes straight in that place, making no progress of any kind. And, like, one of the people that was there that I've never seen since, I don't think, was just losing their mind, like doing some crazy, like, number 23 type stuff of like numerology and crazy shit and like trying to interpret crazy stuff and like turning words into math and shit like that. Like,
what?
She thought she was going to decode some crazy shit.
Okay.
Because we were clearly stuck, and kudos to her. She's being proactive.
I mean, yeah, but that's like, I can't imagine this place would do
next level shit that would not happen.
That's like Enchambered level shit.
All
like,
the pictures of people finishing the puzzle were like a family of like, oh, it's 2 8-year-olds and 2 old people, and they look schlubby and like, haha, we're here.
It's 2 8-year-olds.
We're on our way to Marine World. Like, it's all these family photos and shit.
Imagine 2 8-year-olds turning letters into numbers, and they're just sitting there like doing some next level shit, and like the parents are just like, I'm so proud of you kids.
The Hydras, Mason. What do they mean? But
it's like Gravity Falls type shit at that point.
It's brutal. But then we found out that like, there was a thing called, there was a really dumb chest in the corner that had a hole in the top, and it had plastered on it in tape, written on Sharpie, it said Trunky Loves Treasure. And we had like 30 minutes ago, we had this whole thing of treasure that we poured in the hole, because it's obviously that's what you do, and then nothing happened. And 30 minutes later, it opened. It's like, the idea, as far as we could tell, there was like a weight. There was like a scale inside of it that was supposed to.
Oh, okay.
That's supposed to have all the stuff in it.
Yeah.
And some of the pieces of treasure fell out. Like it bounced out, and so they wasn't heavy enough. And they were way too restrictive on how accurate the weight had to be. So it just didn't open. It eventually opened on a timer. And so so the majority of our experience in that escape room was us just making up puzzles because nothing was happening.
You gave them ideas.
And when we saw how fast we beat it, even after that point, we realized that like we would have been done with that entire escape room in like 15 minutes. The puzzles were just nothing. And also they put fucking Aragon next to Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings, and that's fucked up.
Wait.
They had the library, because their atmosphere for this magician's room was that there was a library along one wall that just had a bunch of books on it, and it was just a bunch of random books that were all fantasy-ish, I guess.
Okay,
so there was like Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings and Game of
okay.
Thrones, and I'm like, all right. And then there's Aragon. I'm like, no, don't just mix up Tolkien and Paulini like they're the same fucking quality. Like, this is concerning. It's nuts. So
God damn it.
Yeah, that's the type of it was the type of escape room somebody who owns Aragon would make.
That's a little judgy, Keith.
But then we went to Chambered and we added you in because it was a larger roster, so we're like reaching out to more people and everything, and it's like fantastic atmosphere. And
yeah,
like,
really great atmosphere.
The one you did, the first one you did, actually both of them kind of had like BioShock audio logs technically.
Yeah, it had or they weren't audio logs, they were like video logs, right?
It was just a thing where like there was a thing you could interact with that ended up making like lore play at you. And
yeah.
Like, oh shit.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Oh no, sometimes speakers would play too.
Yeah, there were speakers
right.
that like lighting would change. Yeah. And like what they did, which impresses Marty a lot, is that they have like RFID chips and all these other things like hidden away inside of stuff so that like they can do magic.
Yeah, they could basically do magic. Yeah.
Like,
which is what I was going to explain with the chest. Like the chest would have been smarter if you had
if it was magic.
Well, if it was counting how many coins you put in,
right? Versus
the scale. The scale is like a bare bones way to.
Or even if you're doing a scale, just don't make it that pointlessly accurate.
Yeah, but I'm saying like in Chambered, you would put stuff in and it would know how many you put in.
What was so bad about the escape room in particular, the bad one, is that like all escape rooms have cameras in them.
Yes.
And people are watching you the whole time. That's like the point, because they can give you hints if you're stuck and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
these people like clearly saw you put the treasure in and they just said nothing.
Nobody did anything about it and they weren't paying any attention, and they would give us hints about stuff we already did, because that's a little, and they would type stuff like LOL and smileys and shit on the message thing. I'm like, wow, our immersion, right? As if we really had any, because there was no atmosphere and it looked like we were playing into like a cubicle. It was like,
God.
It was one of those like
I'm glad I didn't go to that one.
It was one of those ones like you put up rooms, but you put up rooms in that are smaller, that are shorter than the building they're in. You know
oh God,
like they're walls, but they're like portable walls.
What's it called? It's like
fake offices, basically.
No. What's a good example? They do that at there's like some place. I think it's like a Halloween store kind of thing,
like, where you like temporary walls.
Yeah, when you go to the Halloween store and you come in, you're like, okay, it's like a store, but you can tell it's not quite a store because it doesn't have permanency to it. You can feel that it's not a permanent fixture.
Yeah.
So like you can see it's going to just get picked up and moved.
Which is exactly what holiday stores are. Yeah. But the point being that, of course, like they should have seen us put the treasure in and also heard us talking about it over and over again, and at no point did they ever like either trigger it separately or, because of course they don't have that, I don't know, come in.
Yeah.
Like, just
it's
fix the problem.
Well,
for us.
We had that with we even had that with Enchambered, and I mean, and they're like top quality people, and so like they're not gonna, and their immersion's like God tier comparatively.
Chamber come in at one point as like an emergency like supply drop to give us more lanterns because like some of them weren't working.
Yes,
something.
They gave us one of them was for giving us more lanterns. I think the other one was for I think something was like we were missing something. I think like something was
because they're paying attention.
Yeah, but I think like something was literally not where it was supposed to be.
Might have been.
But like I remember they came in.
Pay attention. And
yeah,
like,
but they came in real quick and we're just like, boop, there you go, and left. Like there was no time delay.
To the point where I don't even remember it happening.
Yeah. I specifically remember the lantern one though, because we like all got a lantern, but like half of us couldn't use a lantern, so
like, they just weren't turning on.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, and I remember
it's dark in there. All the Enchambered puzzles are dark rooms.
Yeah, they're dark rooms.
Which I've seen a correlation between whether a puzzle escape room is good and whether or not it's dark. That's been a true thing for the most part. Because if you're thinking about light levels in the first place, you're probably thinking about atmosphere and thinking about a bunch of other things.
You're thinking about it beyond the fact of it just being puzzles.
Like the skeleton key one that was like the magician puzzle was like an evenly lit sitcom setting. It was shitty fake walls.
Yeah.
You could hear the people in the other copy of the room across the warehouse because the walls don't reach the ceilings.
God,
and there's like Aragon books and shit because that's a magician's library or something. But the escape room, they give the whole team one like thing you can write on.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a electronic writable thing that has a button that resets it.
Yeah,
which you were in charge of for both the ones.
I was in charge for both of them.
You write small.
Yes, I write small, and I'm good at keeping that information together. Apparently,
and like an issue that so many of the escape rooms are limited by is that like they have so many like physical locks everywhere.
Yes.
So like I did a one that there's a decent place called Escape Sacramento, but their worst room was called the Gallery. And the Gallery's issue was that it was first of all, it was an evenly lit single room. Like there was no surprise like walls that open up or anything like that, or no secondary rooms. Which transitioning from a room to other rooms in an escape room is so great for making you feel like you're making progress.
It is bewildering, though.
Yes,
like it is very bewildering when you start
with you.
When you start out in a very enclosed room, and then you're like, okay, well, I guess we're at the end of all of our puzzles. Yeah. Are we getting some? And you're like,
and a wall just opens, or you open up a safe, and then the safe is secretly like a tunnel or something like that.
And, and you just go through, and you're like, okay, well, I wonder where this is. It's a fucking whole big room. What happened?
Yeah, and you realize like, it's really cool to. The first thing you do in an escape room is you get familiar with your space.
Yes.
You're like, okay, there's drawers there, there's like a piano.
You start remembering
there.
where everything is.
Yeah, you track down a list of things, like in our 9 playthrough, you track down all the variables and figure out what's going on with them. So then if something just opens up to another place, you're like, fuck.
Yeah, because then you walk in, you're like, there's so many more variables.
Yep.
And especially because they will always do it where there's not, you don't finish every puzzle before you go to the next room. So there's always like some leftover puzzle, and you're like, fucking ass, what is the thing that's going to fix this puzzle?
You realize that something that you couldn't solve was because, like, it's either going to be used in the next room, or you use something from the next room to come back to here. Yeah. So it just expands. You're not just lifting up and going to a new place.
Exactly. It's not great. Yeah, that's the best part.
What happened in our most recent Enchambered run that we did was that we were down to like the last couple minutes, like dramatic music's playing to indicate that like you're down to the wire and shit. Then a fucking wall opened, and you're like, "There's another room! There's another room! We're fucked!"
That's impressive.
We're fucked. And all the best ones do that shit. It's fantastic. It feels good. It's it's like you get so familiar with their space that having the space change is just a mind fuck in general.
Oh, yeah.
But also it feels like you're beating a level in a way. You're like, oh,
you're progressing.
Look what we did, as opposed to being locked. Like, when I play the Gallery, it's just one hallway-ish shaped level, and that's the whole thing. And there's like 15 combination locks. Like, so many combination locks. So it's just like, it's too much overlap of like, one, it's evenly lit, so the atmosphere's kind of crap. Two, you don't change rooms. And three, so many of the puzzles are finding out what the combination is for another lock.
You're just finding combinations after combination.
Yeah, so many of the different locks have like different number of inputs, or they'll have like some of the combinations were that one where it's like a grid of squares you press in the right sequence. Yeah. Some of them were letters and numbers and colors.
It's still just like it's still a fatigue.
It's still you're just finding the answer to a bunch of codes. But what Enchambered does that's so fantastic is that like you'll like get tarot cards. And you'll put the tarot cards on a table in order, and then like a door will open or something.
Yeah,
like you'll do.
There's a lot of weird stuff. Like I mean, so they still have their usual like safes. Like there's a safe you have to crack.
You'll find the occasional safe or combination. Or something.
Yeah, you'll find you still find a combination
or
safe.
Key, the dreaded key. Where does the key go?
Yeah, the key thing. But I think one of the things that makes Enchambered interesting is that there's always something happening when you do that stuff.
Yeah,
like you're getting somewhere for an ultimate goal. Like when you unlock a chest, you're unlocking a chest because that chest has probably the last piece needed to finish this one puzzle you got halfway through before you realize you can't continue. And so it's like it's not just you open it and it's like, oh look, there's a key to the door, and you open the door. It's like you'll open it and there's like, oh look, there's a thing for this, and you do that, and it's like, by the way, now you can access this next puzzle, and you're like,
yep,
oh good, great, now there's more.
And there's fantastic audio design. There's like narrative things going on in the background. I like the
stories.
And stuff.
Yeah, the stories they tell you.
Like almost like holograms at some spots, and
there's
bullshit going on.
There's a lot of weird shit in like. Well, and Enchambered is one of those that like it goes a little bit beyond.
But there's they're way too into it.
They're way too into it. Yeah, because they build those rooms from scratch, and they're like self-built rooms. Like when we say built, we're not saying like, oh, they bought some chairs at IKEA and set it up like
theme parky.
Yeah, like. They literally put a piano in like the middle of a room, like it's a piano, and then they built like a world around it.
My takeaway with the magic stuff is like when you'll touch a thing with your hand with no discernible buttons or even touchscreen surfaces, and just touching it, like a sound will play or like a visual thing will happen in the room. You're like, how do things work?
Yeah.
And like Marty's all impressed because like the whole thing's being run on like I don't know, was it like C++ or something? Like
it's being run on like, a mixture of C and Java.
Because it's an escape room that's programmed.
It's a programmed escape
room. Program runs
that
operates the escape room around us, which is how some magic shit works.
Yeah.
Like this is a really non-spoilery thing, which is that in the new escape room, the way they do hints is they have a book in the corner of the room, and if you open it, it has a hint glowing inside of it, which changes as you progress through the escape room.
What?
Yeah.
What?
How cool is that?
That's fucking impressive.
Like that's the kind of shit they do at this
Is
place.
it like on a screen?
It's a book that has a screen inside of it.
Oh,
like,
that's cool.
It's like Myst.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a Myst book you open and it gives you a vague hint about how to proceed.
That's really awesome.
Can't figure out what to do next.
That's really awesome.
And I opened it on accident like twice because I'm so used to using everything in my environment to solve the puzzle that I wasn't even thinking about the fact that it's the hint book. I'm like, oh shit, I'm not supposed to look at that because we're trying to just solve them normally. I'm like, oh fuck. But oh shit, what was I thinking of?
But yeah, the fact it's programmed like that.
What I would say is that like in Chambered, like there's escape rooms, and then there's a specific type of what you would hope escape rooms would be if you're somebody who grew up watching Legend of the Hidden Temple and Jumanji.
Yeah.
Like if you want to have like a magic board,
if you want to have an experience versus you want to have
pick up like an idol or something and do something like that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of the other places, like you probably make this kind of thing because you have some inspiration to want to do it. Like whoever runs each place is probably into this.
There's some kind of inspiration.
But that doesn't mean you don't have the imagination.
That's what it is. It's the imagination you need, and a lot of them lack the imagination. Which was our third one we did, the Zelda one, which was like the worst.
There were.
It was so bad. It was so bad in a multitude of interesting ways, which I think was the best part.
Yeah, if you hear about the Turing video game escape room,
don't do those.
I don't recommend it.
No,
I don't know which one they're on because I think they keep cycling through them at an astonishing rate, which is alarming in its own.
I think they first started out doing Final Fantasy 14.
I don't know.
They did Final Fantasy Online as one of them, and then they went to Zelda, and then I think they were
did Ocarina of Time, and then they're next going to do Trials of Bahamut.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Yeah, the Trials of Bahamut.
Which was another Final Fantasy thing, and it's like...
Yeah.
First of all...
They're not good.
It's not an escape room in the proper sense, because it's a room where like 10 tables of people are doing it in parallel with each other.
Well, also, you're not stuck.
Yeah, you're not stuck. You're sitting at a table solving like cereal box puzzles, basically.
No, they are cereal box puzzles. Not basically, they are. Like, they're printed on pieces of paper.
It's one of the only times I wanted more light in the escape room because we couldn't, like, you're looking at a piece of paper that you're like sharing basically to do the puzzles
on a table that's way too small.
Like, it's small font and it's a small table and it's dark and it's like at any given time only like one person can read this shit. It's like, why are there 4 or 5 or 6 of us or something like that?
Yeah, and like each puzzle only requires one person.
Yeah,
and they only give you one puzzle at a time. So you have 4 people sitting there watching one person do a puzzle, and it
was also kind of obnoxious because I hadn't played Ocarina, and it blatantly required Ocarina knowledge.
Yes, it did. It required a lot. Like I think like 2 or 3 different puzzles required like Ocarina knowledge.
It was completely arbitrary bullshit stuff that wasn't puzzles. It was the type of shit that I complain about while I'm playing Ocarina because of how like me talking like how do I trigger the Impa thing, which is secretly not me meeting Impa but actually Sheik in a well scene.
It's a callbacks, and the callbacks, if you don't know them, are just going to cripple your run.
It's like the puzzles are full of nonsense. Like these people don't like children, so you got to come to them as an adult because you have an adult hat and a child hat. You unlock and because you unlock the
and like how would you know that unless you knew the difference between like the
there's like the water
elves
thing that was like, oh, that's a cute puzzle, but the most of it is like, I hate you.
And then the fucking one where you have to throw
God.
throw things
the one
at pots.
It was full of like nods that are just like, haha, cute little gesture. That's not a puzzle. Like, you get things to you get pots, which were bean bags with pots drawn on them, basically, and you had to throw them at a target. Yeah, which didn't matter if you hit it or not, and then you were just given the next thing. Like
you're just giving items.
It was like a patronizing, like run around children.
It's for children.
Yeah, but no one was children there.
No, because it's called an escape room. Which
it's also Ocarina of Time, which is like 15, 20 years old or something. Like also the people that know what that game is are like 30 now.
Yeah, it's.
The next one's gonna be Final Fantasy. Make a fucking I think Skylanders one if you want children.
I think we got basically to the final puzzle, and we just couldn't figure out the final puzzle, right?
Because it was just you had to like.
Because wasn't the final puzzle like you had to like scratch off the fucking thing that was around our neck that we didn't know the whole time that was a puzzle?
There was some weird stuff we got stuck on where it's just kind of incomprehensible for the longest time.
A
lot of it boiled down to that we just couldn't see shit.
Yeah, we struggled with aging because we couldn't figure out how to like go to the Temple of Time. We couldn't figure out
there was a whole lot of like, what do you want from me?
Yeah, they're like the Gorgon. I think the Gorgon Mountain was a problem we had once too. I think we like struggled with getting into the
we had to like bring them the right thing. And
I think
something.
It was like we had to bring them something, and we
there was a lot
like,
of really frustrating, weird nonsense.
It was so bad.
And also the whole time I'm dealing with this goddamn cap that's too small for my head because I'd have a big head, and they didn't have larger caps.
And if I remember correctly,
it looked like I was wearing like a beanie.
Yeah, you had like a weird sock on your head.
Yeah, I looked like I was gonna go rob the store at the beginning of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. Like they're all wearing pantyhose over their head.
Yeah,
like it's like three of us, including you, had like this baggy like Link cap.
Yeah,
and like three of us looked like we were wearing like trying to stretch pantyhose over our head because our heads were just way too big.
Yeah, I think the worst part was I don't think anybody in that room successfully got through.
Well, the worst part was driving to San Francisco.
Well, yeah,
driving in San Francisco.
The worst part was getting to San Francisco, but the second worst part was that no one left that
secret underground parking garages that we don't know how to find.
Nobody in that room beat it. Everyone failed.
Nobody was psyched about it.
No. But I'm saying
what
there was like
is to never take Carissa's invitations for escape rooms,
because that's the second time, right? Because she did the skeleton one.
She brought us the skeleton key. Also, it's like she brings us to the worst ones, the only bad ones, basically. She finds them laser honed.
But
this one had the bonus of dangerous driving through San Francisco, where I drove against traffic.
I mean,
there was no traffic, but I drove against it.
Well, yeah, because one-way streets are kind of complicated.
I took a weird right turn and then realized it wasn't right, and I was like, oh. But it was also like I couldn't tell because we're making a right turn down a hill.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't even see the road you're turning onto at that angle, and I'm like, and like, oh, you can't go this way. I'm like, I don't know where I'm going. What is this town? Like,
it's a nightmare.
In a nice place like where you live right now.
Everything's
flat. If you make a wrong turn, you just go around the block. Yeah, every single road in this entire town basically is two-way.
It'll connect to it,
and everything is block shaped.
Yeah,
so like even if it's kind of like I don't know, weird or like that's a triple block. It's like it takes a while to turn to be a block properly.
But you can still just turn around.
Yeah, you're like navigating around at worst like a Tetris screen.
Yeah,
of like weird shaped.
San Francisco's not like that.
Yeah, San Francisco's a nightmare.
You're gone.
Which is weird because it's actually kind of a block. Because it's famous for being the city where they forced a block grid over a hill where it made no sense. Yeah. But between the increased car sizes where everyone's now so many of those streets are one way now, but also they're all up and down hills and everything. Despite the fact that it's blocks, it's way more confusing.
Yeah, because it's confusing because it's a block with one way roads on a hill. So like you run into the situation where you're like, okay, well I fucked up. How do I get out of this fuck up? And it's like, well, you can't go that way or that way because they're one-way streets, and they're not one-way streets that lead into a circle that goes back to the street you just came from. So you're going to have to go all the way to the other end of San Francisco and come all the way back. And you're like, what? Why? Who built this? Who is the monster?
And then you're dealing with me who drives like a coward.
Yeah, you do drive like a coward.
So it's like, how do we get it? We need to go left. I'm like, there's cars though. It's impossible.
Yeah. It's like, no, Keith, just drive. They won't hit you.
I've never been in an accident ever. And I don't want to be.
I mean, that's good.
Cars are scary, but yeah, it means that I hate going to any high traffic cities, period, because I'm like, I don't know how to drive aggressively because I like not crashing.
That was my one solitude for driving in France was that like, it's high, what's it called?
High density?
No, not high density. It's like everybody's fighting each other. Like everyone fights each other on
dick all the time.
all the time. And so I was like, so that was like the one thing. It was like I was comfortable. I was like, oh yeah, I'm fine with this, and just cut people off. And it's like, yeah, see, it's fine. And it's like, I mean, there was also a place we saw a guy that like fell asleep literally at the wheel. Like he was at the stop, like he's at the stoplight asleep on his car, and we we didn't know if he was dead because he's just like straight head on the steering wheel, just like his car running, windows rolled up. We were just like, I think he's dead.
I mean, that's some scary shit. Like, there's a lot of, like, when you look at those, like, shared images of, like, footage of, like, a crazy crash happening in real time, and it's like an impossibly bad crash of, like, oh, that person just drove straight into something for some reason. It always turns out that person, like, was unconscious.
Yeah, they just fell
something
asleep.
happened to them.
Yeah, and
even
like,
if they didn't fall asleep, like, they had a stroke or, like, something bad happened. It's like, oh, that's, like, an additional really bad thing happened on top of the really bad.
Yeah.
Like, they could not have had a worse day.
That was why we made, like, Naya check. We were like, you check and see if he's alive. Yeah. Because we're not... No one in the car wanted.
You don't want to have that go unaddressed.
Yeah.
Who knows?
We woke him up. He was fine. Did he just fall asleep at like a stoplight or something? He just felt like he was on his way to work and just fell asleep at the wheel.
That's terrifying.
Yeah. He basically woke up and was like,
self-driving cars could not happen sooner.
No.
I want them so bad.
Yeah, I don't know why people don't want
driving because they're stupid and they don't trust driving as if we're good at that.
No, people think that driving is like somehow a freedom that can be taken from you, and it's not. Like,
you can't take our guns and cars.
Yeah, like somehow the right to drive is a thing that it's just suddenly existed, but everyone forgot doesn't, because America was not founded with cars; it was founded with horses. You have a right to a horse, asshole, but you don't have a right to a car.
That's not true either.
Well, I mean,
not really.
You have a right to land.
You don't specifically have a right to it. It's just no one's going to stop you.
Well,
or anything.
Now they will.
The horse. Well,
but
you take your horse to the right place.
Yeah,
which is not civilization. But if you want your horse, you can fucking have your horse, I guess. Just go over there.
Just go over there.
Just go to the many empty parts of America. It's most of it.
Yeah,
we condense a lot.
Mostly, yeah.
There's a lot of empty. You go to Nevada, it's right there.
I mean, you're not gonna ride a horse in Nevada. That's like
you can do it you can do it once,
and then it's dead.
You're dead.
Well, yeah, you're dead too.
And then the horse is feasting on you for sustenance.
That horse is not gonna live either.
Yeah, it probably live longer than the person.
Would it?
I think a horse can survive in most environments longer than a person.
I don't know if a horse could survive in the desert.
People are fragile, and horses are giant monsters. Horses are a lot scarier once you get over the fact that they're just horses. Like,
are they?
Horses are one of those things that we're familiar with. So we're just like, it's a horse, haha.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh yeah, it's a giant mega beast that's just kind of around, and it's like a car that walks. and
is that more? I feel like a rhino is more like a car that walks.
Like most herbivores, is an opportunistic carnivore, in that it will eat flesh. Like those images where like a horse just swallows a chick. Have you seen those?
Yeah.
Where it's like, there's a little chick there, and now it's dead.
Well, horses also like try to swallow fences, so I don't really know what the general consensus is on what a horse.
Giant, dangerous, horrible things.
Horses are just like naturally dumb, lumbering beasts.
I always think of the podcast? Is it Brothers Bloom or something like that? Or no, Brothers Grimm is the movie where a horse runs into town, Sleepy Hollow style or something, but then like it shoots like a spider web out of its mouth and engulfs this child, and then swallows the child whole and runs away. And like that's how like steals the child. It's like just like and gotcha net, and then just swallows the child, and it's like CG where you can like see the child like pushing out its throat and shit like that. It's like I saw that when I was like 14. And I'm like. And I've never seen the movie again, but that's literally all I can remember for the entire movie is like, what the fuck?
I'm imagining Keith like has a checklist. He's like, and don't ride horses. Like,
that had to be the first time I ever saw what would later be called Vor. It's like, it's just in a fucking like theatrical release movie.
Yeah.
It's like,
let's see, what are we resting here? So we should probably do questions, or we're not going to get through.
Probably talk about how I almost got in an accident today.
Did you?
Yeah.
A car accident?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Okay, go with car accident.
I hinted earlier today about how I've had a whole day of bad things, or just dumb things.
Because you changed multiple things about you.
Rising and, yeah.
You changed both your hair and your shoes.
Yeah, my shoes.
Well, they can't see
I have stories about both of them.
Wow, well, that's impressive. Okay, let's go.
Not as interesting as the car accident, but they frame it.
Oh. I like picture frames.
So I'm a non-functioning shithead, basically, that sits around and plays video games and does their job, and that's like what I do all the time.
It's a very counterintuitive statement, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not non-functioning shithead who does his job.
I used to have a job, like a different job.
But your other job required you to be a non-functioning shithead.
And make less money than what I now do. Everything's confusing, and I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
I feel like you
never
more...
really did do.
Yeah.
I never knew what I was doing.
No one does.
I went to college to then throw it away.
Well, it's still there.
Yeah, it's still there, but I don't know how. That's what I hate about college is that you go to get a degree, and it's like on paper I know this shit. I guess
that's like
it's like my German lessons I took like a decade ago.
Yeah,
it's like how sure I took German from like 2005 to 2007.
Yeah,
but it's 2018 now. Like I'm like, haha, vorgeschlagen. Die Naturwissenschaften.
You're just gonna recite to me Rammstein lyrics? Like the fuck?
Schwarzwald and Kirschtorte. But I ruined Rammstein for people.
Yeah.
Every time that I would ever play Rock Band with people, especially at Jake's birthday party, I would we'd play Rock Band and people would pick Rammstein and I'd be on vocals because everyone else is a coward and I'm the only person that will ever sing. But every time we did a Rammstein song, I'd sing the song in English.
Oh, would you? Just to be spiteful?
Yep, and people would realize how dumb those fucking lyrics are and how he's just saying one word over and over again most of the time. Or especially this fascination that German songs seem to have with counting.
Well, counting sounds interesting.
There's so many German songs I've encountered where they're like, eins, zwei, drei, vier. I'm like, why are you counting? Stop counting. Why do I keep finding the counting songs?
Isn't there like a couple of American pop songs that are basically like that? They'll say stupid shit.
Sarah Bareilles? No, that's Faint.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
But imagine how that sounds to a person that doesn't speak English. They're like, yeah, that's a really cool word.
Meanwhile, I'm in English. I'm like, you skipped numbers.
Yeah.
Remember that song? It was on the radio for a while. There was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10. Money can buy you back the love that you have. I don't know have been. I said back the love you have been because I didn't know the lyrics. I just said it to rhyme it.
That was a good attempt.
I'm like, there's not 8 numbers to 10. They're different numbers. You got to 10 in 8 numbers. What the fuck?
Yeah.
You have to you skip back in your head. I'm like, that was 8 numbers. Which ones did you skip?
It's like the one that people always say, like the domo arigato, Mr. Roboto, which is just hello, thank you, Mr. Robot. That's just literally all it is. But it sounds like you're saying something. It's like domo arigato, Mr. Robot. But it's just like, it's like hello, thank you, robot.
But at least that was an American song.
Well, yeah, but it sounds
that's the equivalent of all the English that's in Japanese songs.
True, but it's
just like
it's the same
love,
concept.
Desire.
It's a concept.
Hope, give me.
It's like you say this other language because it sounds cool to somebody, but like in reality,
like the number one song in fucking Tokyo Mirage Sessions was "Give Me," which are the only English words in the entire song. She's like, "Give me Shoto Matane, give me." It's like, what? I don't know how "give me" fits with what you're saying, but I get the feeling it doesn't because "give me" is not even a sentence or a phrase. Like, you can't just say "give me."
So
over
okay,
again.
we're
I don't remember how we got here.
We're getting way off topic here.
I don't remember how we got here.
So how you've adjusted your lifestyle?
Oh yeah, I had an attempted adulting day.
Okay,
which felt great.
Did it?
Yeah, especially since I saw a movie in the middle of it. Which is because I can get away with that shit.
Yeah, I guess.
I took a day off from work to just get all of my errands done. At once, basically.
Should probably do that more often.
There was some shit stacking up, which is that I still use my dad's Sam's Club membership, because why would you pay for a Sam's Club membership if you cannot pay for a Sam's Club membership?
I don't think I pay for mine. I think I use my grandparents.
It's like Netflix accounts. Like, if you have somebody else, a sub-profile on somebody else's, why would you?
Yeah, why wouldn't you just throw money at them?
There's a weird feeling of like, are you freeloading? But like, it doesn't cost them anything. You're just getting access to the thing.
Yeah.
You're freeloading from Netflix's perspective, because they want everyone to pay for their own account, obviously. But
then they also offer family plans.
But like, you're not hindering your family by helping their thing, like helping on their thing at all. So it's like, I use my dad's Sam's Club thing, but he had a thing where it's like, oh, we gotta recall the cards or whatever the fuck and stuff like that, and because something was going on, like what happens with cards all the time, basically.
Oh, like
And so I heard about that, and I was like, okay, shit, because I used it to get my food. He just goes radio silent for a month. He claimed he was sending me a card, and then I just didn't hear about it. Like, he was going to send it to me when he got it, but then he just didn't mention it for a month, and I was like, all right, I'm running out of food now. What's the situation with Sam's? Like, oh yeah, your card works, it's fine. I'm like, couldn't just tell me? So this day I was going out to get, like, go to my Sam's.
Restock my supplies.
Yeah, to get all of my, like, long-term type, like, pantry and freezer type things and stuff. But also I I got my new shoes because my previous shoes were so worn down that they were flat on the bottom.
Yeah.
Which, incidentally, it rained that day, so I was like slip sliding around. Like
You felt the full weight of that.
That was an accident waiting to happen all day long till I found the Skechers store. But I also got a haircut, which I do like twice a year.
Do you?
Yeah.
You only need to do it twice a year.
Well, you've seen how long it gets.
Yeah, but like I'm kind of impressed that it doesn't like inhibit your face.
It does. It gets all over the place.
True.
It's a constant thing where like I like the feeling of having longer hair, but it looks dumb like all the time. Especially whenever the moment I go outside and the wind just makes it go.
Oh yeah.
Place, and then it's like now you have a weird cloud that's parted wrong and shit like that.
I can't let my hair grow too long because then it does that like what is it, like it looks like that one singer that used to be on the beach. Like he used to be on the beach with like an open shirt and he had his like shirt blowing in the wind
or something
like that. But like
that's a lot. That doesn't narrow it down
because my hair like doesn't arch like a perfect arch in the center.
Oh.
But when it grows longer, it starts growing down really.
Yeah.
So like the back of my head won't grow that well, but it will grow downward. So I'll look like I'll have like a fucking mullet.
Yeah.
Super quickly. And then I'll have I'll have a weird McDonald's arch and then a mullet coming. It just looks awful. And so I have to keep it. I have to cut it.
You'd be the protagonist of that really shitty bike game we played.
Yeah. I can look at like that guy basically.
When are we going to get that full playthrough?
Never.
We wanted to. That was the goal that day. And we gave up.
Yeah.
And we play shitty games on purpose. And we couldn't get through Road Dead Redemption.
Road Dead
Redemption.
Red Dead.
Revengeance. It had a dumb name that's impossible to remember.
It was Road Redemption.
Road Redemption? Fuck that. No.
It was...
Wasn't Road Redemption the Road Rash clone we played?
Oh yeah, it was.
See, even you can't remember the name of that game I'm talking about.
What was that fucking game?
The one where people would dry hump with fully clothed for all the sex scenes.
And yeah, I know which one you're talking about. I just can't remember the name. What is the name of that?
Road Dead Revolver. But I got my new shoes, got my hair cut, I got new wipers because my car's wipers were peeling off and turning into just being a scraper machine.
Oh yeah, mine are kind of getting
which
like
is good
that.
for getting rid of snow, but there wasn't any. So car wash. I just got like 10 things done in one day, and I saw the movie Annihilation with Natalie Portman. From the guy that made Ex Machina, which is a fantastic, fucked up, horrifying movie. It particularly has one scene that I'm like, and like 4 people left and didn't come back.
In the theater?
Yes, which is the first time I've seen that since I saw Drive. Have you seen Drive?
No.
Because there's one really brutal scene at the end that's just very violent, and it keeps going for a bit. And like an old couple left and never came back when I saw it in the theater. But in Annihilation, there's one scene where just people just left, and it wasn't like for gory torture porny reasons or anything like that. It was like, no, like it's like when you first played Amnesia and you couldn't take it.
Oh,
it's like that can't deal with that concept right now. And some people just left, and I never saw them come back.
That was like when I tried watching Antichrist, or like, yeah, there was just the moment that people started bringing out scissors in your genitals. I was like, and I'm gonna call it a wrap.
Yeah, it's not like that.
No, but I'm saying like I get the concept of like you see a thing and you're like, let's just cut it here and go.
Yeah,
like,
we're just
gonna
go. You don't need. If you get around to watching the movie, I'll be interested to see if you know immediately what I'm talking about.
I'll have to give it a watch.
Yeah.
I'll check it out and see.
You'll be okay.
I mean, yeah,
it's not like Antichrist where you're specifically going to be.
Antichrist is the only time I've ever left a movie.
You specifically won't revolt away from it, but I think you'll know what I mean.
Yeah, I'm probably sure.
Because that Annihilation's a cool fucking movie. That was weird, but today I would start to reap the fallout of my adulting day.
Reap the fallout? Is it like karma has to come back and bite you for not working a day?
Because today it's like, okay, it's the day you have to get. I get up early, or specifically I leave early to go to Andrew's place because I got to do the podcast and the recordings and everything. It's the day where I don't do any normal work usually, aside from maybe quickly throwing up an upload or something if I still need to. But I try to prepare in advance to not have to do that, so I can just get here. But it also means it's the quickest like time to like. Between waking up and leaving that I normally don't do anymore since I like normal job.
Since your job does not require you to leave,
like normal job mornings basically. And I was like, well, we're doing a podcast. Let's try out this forming. It's not styling gel. It's what do you call the other thing? You take like you like stick a fingertip into like a jug of shit.
Grease?
Not grease. I don't remember.
It's
like forming gel, not even gel. They call it something else entirely.
If you're sticking it into a jug, like is it really hard when you press it? You have to like push really hard.
Yeah, you push into a solid thing.
That's grease.
Yeah,
that's just grease. I have it.
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, don't look at my hair. I'm not using it right now, but I have grease.
I was like, let's try to put the shit on, and it's like I skipped the whole period of your life where you're supposed to learn how to do your hair.
I did not, and I still don't know how to use it properly. It's a hard thing to use.
I think you're supposed to like fuck around your entire teenage years and like
shitty hair products,
shitty hair products constantly, and then people have like a thing, like they have it down at some point. I immediately
it's like with girls and makeup. That's kind of how the point is. Like when you're young, you're supposed to look hideous with like fuck ups, and then you like as an adult you learn how to do it properly by that point.
So this morning I stick my finger in and I'm like, this is immediately a mistake. I'm like smearing it on my hands, and I'm like, and then my hand just stops.
Yeah,
I was like, like immediately, and I'm like, how do
you need to
how the fuck do you do this?
You need to wet your hair. So the way you do it, you need to have your hair.
I did it right after the shower, so it's
but
wet.
Not like it doesn't need to be soaked. It needs to be like a little bit drier.
Well, it was dried after the shower, but then
it needs like spray. Basically, when you go to like a haircut place and they spray it with a spray bottle, spray it, comb it back a little bit, take grease. You need to like put the grease, like move it through your hands, and you just need to keep like shaping it, but not going in, like just dabbing it kind of thing, and then. From there, you need to take like usually a comb and just do it and then keep going.
Just immediately, I was like, I am 3 children in a man suit pretending to be a person.
Oh yeah, it's
like I've never empathized more heavily with that minor character from BoJack Horseman. That's
Mr. Man?
Yeah, Mr. Man. That's just 3 children in a man suit. It's like it's supposed to be a parody of like how you feel about the new boyfriend that your ex-girlfriend has or something. It's like that's not even a real person. And I'm I'm that guy. That's my whole life is I'm Mr. Man.
I loved every interaction with BoJack and Mr. Man.
Oh, he's great. Where he's just making shit up.
He just gets so mad because people won't recognize it's just a child in a suit.
Which is a perfect metaphor. But also in the way that they don't intend, I always empathize with that character because he keeps faking it at being an adult constantly, and I'm like, that's me. It's what I do. I just pretend sometimes, and then people fall for it.
Like I always remember the one line from from one of the episodes with that character, and it was like someone was like, "BoJack, you can learn from Mr. Man." He's like, "He's not even a person." He's just so mad.
I had to rewatch that entire show again. It's absurdly good.
God,
it's a show we both agree is absurdly good.
I can't watch it because it depresses me so much.
It hurts
me all the time.
Soul. It hurts so good because it makes Andrew empathetic.
No, it doesn't. It makes me just look at myself sadly.
That's what empathy is. You're just not used to it. If you're watching somebody else and it's making you feel bad about yourself and you're feeling it for real, but you're just actually empathizing with their situation. That's what empathy is.
Oh, I thought they were just mocking me by making a character that was just me.
I mean, if you literally think BoJack is literally you, then I guess it's not empathy.
Yeah, that's
if you think that like stuck a camera into your life and you didn't notice and then they rotoscoped it. Like they scanned darkly to your Mr. Robot or something.
I mean... I feel like BoJack can relate to me on levels it shouldn't.
I do remember when I showed you Mr. Robot because I'm like, hey, look, the protagonist is you, and you're like, I can't watch past one episode of this. I can't do this.
No, but it was because it didn't feel natural. I was like, this isn't I have these things, and I wouldn't do these things. Like if I had that kind of anxiety level, like social anxiety, I wouldn't live in New York City. I walk outside and I'm crowded. Like why would I want to
walk outside and I'm crowded?
Why would I want to live there? Like, I live right next to San Francisco, and I don't want to live there because it's the same problem. I'd walk outside, and there's people.
Yep.
Like
so I did the gel, whatever thing.
Try gel.
The not gel, styling shit.
Yeah.
And immediately I'm like, I am a child pretending to be an adult.
I can't do
this dumbass moment. And I'm like, I like maintained it like 4 times since then, like trying to fix this thing or that thing that like just changed afterwards. I'm like, you fuck. Like, I hate this. I hate putting shit in my hair. I'm like, I'll have to do... If you do put shit in your hair, you have to do 2 showers a day. Because do people go to sleep like this?
Yeah, you just leave the grease in.
Oh, fuck that. It feels horrible all the time.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh, when I put it in, I leave it in.
Gross.
I usually leave it in for a day. So I'll like leave it in that day and then for another day afterwards, and I'll take a shower either the second night,
I just feel gross.
or I take it the morning of the third day.
I went all my life never putting shit in my hair. Basically, I had one.
If you put regular gel, you need to like wash it out at the end of the night.
I had one day in like middle school where like I put on like. I did like the stereotypical haircut that everyone in all of our school did, which is that they'd have
very short so you could spike it up.
It was mostly short, but then the front part would be swooped.
Yep.
Just the front part.
Yep.
And I also made the front part blue for some reason, and it wasn't like it wasn't dye, but I just put like a weird thing you just
like
put
you
on it.
Frosted the tips or whatever.
I just felt like making it blue and putting it up, and I'm like, it lasted one day, which is what every encounter with styling products has ever gone. Because if you've seen me in anything, I literally just have clean hair and that's it.
Yeah.
Which means it just makes whatever shape it feels like half the time. And I just go with it. At like every now and then in the bathroom, I'll just slightly wet it in a different spread it or whatever the fuck. To like if I see it's meandered weird or something. But really it just from short hair to long hair, it's usually just a little like I usually just wet it down and that dries that way and that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
And it feels great.
I have to.
It's great to just like you just clean your hair every day and you don't do anything with it and you just feel better all the time.
I have to like my hair is all fucked up because I
always feel like I look like a jackass.
I'm still waiting for it to grow back and fix because like when I went to hairstylist, she like cut one side way too short and the other side was too long. So when they started growing back, it was like one side was growing out like kind of Einstein-y and the other side was like, oh, it's still really nice. And I was like, what the fuck's happening? It's like, go back. No.
Go back.
Go back,
what
hair.
What are you doing?
So I have to fix that, which is why I usually don't put anything in it because it just looks like shit no matter what I do. But we
got a lot of mileage out of the hair, which I wasn't expecting. That was the speed bump of my morning.
You almost got an accident because of your hair.
No, not because of the hair. That was just the first dumb this is a day. But I drove to get food because I go get food and caffeine on the way here, and I go into a center left turn lane.
Okay.
And I then turn left and everything. But I go into center left turn lane and I see my rear view mirror and I see a red car directly behind me with an old couple. And both the man and the woman have their hands like this and their mouths like they're just like shocked.
They've given up?
It's like they're both like shocked and taken aback and their minds are just blown by what I realize is whatever I did. And so like, I'm just like, I do the left turn when the cars are gone, and I'm driving in and go to the Jamba Juice. I go to the Jamba Juice. They go the other way, like drive past it, and they're just blaring their horn at me the entire way as like to express their anger at something. And I'm like, I don't know what happened. Like I was so confused.
Wait, like, are you sure it was like a left turn?
It was a center left turn lane. It's one I use all the time. It's always there. As in like, there's 2 left lanes and 2 right lanes that are going in opposite directions, and in the middle is the yellow zone that is the place you turn into to then turn into the opposite side of the street parking lot. I'm trying
to like visualize what they could have been shocked by.
So I'm so confused.
Maybe they weren't.
I don't know if they like tried to like weave around me too fast, and then I cut in front of them because they thought I wasn't going to turn left.
Oh,
okay. Maybe they tried to shoot around me or something. Or another old person thing that happens a lot is that like sometimes like for all I know they went into the center left turn lane like way too early and then have just been driving in it for a bit and then are shocked when someone pulls in front of them because you're supposed to like pull into it and stop on the spot. You're not supposed to like sit there and like drive forever. I think the limit they give us in driving schools, they say like 30 feet or 50 feet or something like that. It's like going into the bike lane to turn. Like you
the bike lane turn is like you can only enter within a certain amount of distance.
Exactly. That's how center left turn lanes are supposed to be. You're supposed to be doing it right before you're going to turn. But the whole point is it's a place where you can safely stop without blocking the traffic behind you in your side, but also you have to wait for the opposite side of the traffic to move so that you can turn left. Is the whole point.
It's the whole point.
It's also alternatively, and this also fucks with people a lot, both here and in my town. It happens here a lot too.
Oh, it happens here all the time.
Is when you turn out and you turn into the center left turn lane.
Yes.
For like you turn from a side road into the center left turn lane and stop, and then you turn into the right. You turn right into the actual traffic once everyone is gone. Because the idea is that in both cases you're dealing with the fact that like traffic wanes and waxes on both sides at different times, so you kind of have to do it a multi-stage thing. On a regular basis here in this town, I'll turn left into the center left turn lane to enter the street. And the people that are in the to my right of me are like blaring their horn and freaking out like I'm going to crash into them because they don't understand that I'm going to the center left turn lane, which is how that works. They freak the fuck out. I'm like, no, I know how to drive. So it's like, I'm like, what the fuck?
It's another one of those like self-driving cars, please.
I'm like, the self-driving cars know the rules.
Yeah.
People don't know the rules, and they were told to know the rules and tested on it, but they don't know the rules.
They don't.
And if they did, they forgot them.
They don't know.
I mean, that test that we take, the paper part, is full of shit that I don't know.
I
was like, I don't know the answer to these questions.
I think what? Yeah, I mean, DMV isn't like the stringest.
No.
I mean, DMV still doesn't know I can't drive without my glasses. They still don't know.
Jesus.
Well, because every time I go in there, I memorize.
The DMV, I don't think knows where I live right now.
Yeah, because every time I go,
I don't think they're up to date. I think other people are.
Oh yeah. I mean, every time I go in DMV, they have what's it called? They have the stupid board behind them, and so all I do is I just like look at it with my glasses, and I just memorize every option. And so then when they tell me, they're like, "Oh, can you take your glasses off to prove it?" And I just remember it. Mm-hmm. And so that way they don't tell me I need my glasses, because in case I forget them or they break, I don't have to worry about a cop pulling me over and giving me a ticket for not having glasses.
Right.
But to them, they're like, "Oh yeah, it's fine. You can just drive without."
Do they pay that much attention? I don't even know.
They do,
because
the first time whenever I walk in there,
without glasses,
no, I can't.
So like, why do you care if they'll pull you over?
Because how would I get to the glasses place if I don't have glasses? I would have to have someone else drive me, which I'm not going to do, so I'm going to have to drive myself.
Drive dangerously.
Well, yeah, I know how to get there blind. I mean, I've been going there for years.
This is my blind Let's Play of driving.
GTA 5 blind.
I mean, a lot of our earlier Let's Plays were basically blind, in that you didn't know you needed glasses, apparently.
Oh yeah,
refusing to get them. So you were playing games with bad eyes for like 2 years.
I've been playing. I think I needed glasses. God, I needed glasses since like a couple of years after high school. So about almost like 10 years.
I was just aghast, basically.
I was. How do you think I felt when I put it on?
When I realized after years that you literally hadn't not been seeing shit in the games we were playing.
Yeah,
because for the longest time you needed glasses, and I'm like, how did you not?
It was
still not realize.
I think the impressive part was putting glasses on and go like, "Oh shit, that's what HD looks like."
Yeah,
like that looks
the pop-up book effect of seeing all the individual things that look too close and too far away. You're because for some people with bad eyesight, you experience what 3D looks like first via media, like watching a 3D movie before you ever see it in real life.
Oh,
and then you realize, so your analog for how your eyes and all eyes actually work is how movies look in 3D. And then you realize, oh fuck, that's how everyone else was seeing. Because I got glasses in like 6th grade, I think, for the first time, because I realized I couldn't see the board at the back of the class.
Oh,
and I'm sure it's gotten worse since then, but I was that level then.
I only knew I needed glasses because I went into like a grocery store and I couldn't read the sign at the end of an aisle. And I was like, I couldn't read it, and so I like had to really squint, and I was like, oh, I can still read it. I don't need glasses though.
Yeah.
And so I just kept
looking at my eyes. I don't think I would try to drive.
Would you not?
No, I don't think I would try.
I could do it.
I could technically do it, but just knowing how dangerous driving is as a concept, I don't want to like add this to it. I definitely can't read signs.
Yeah, that's my problem. I can't read signs, which I don't need technically. I just need to see the road.
Yeah, well, the secret is I already don't read signs.
Yeah, same here.
I read like all the important warning type signs and speed limit type signs, but I've never paid attention to street names my entire life.
I don't do any of that shit. I got Google Maps.
No, I mean like I'm talking about like construction or turn left and like. I
don't do any of that. I got Google Maps.
That's not how that works.
Google Maps tells me to turn left.
But I've always ignored street names like my entire life. I've had terrible instructions. I just know how to get places. Like, oh yeah, that way. Go that thing. People ask for directions. I'm like, fuck. Do you have a phone?
It's that way.
Grandma, get a phone, please. Catch up with us. I don't want to ever give directions. I don't know. Like I said, I can drive. I just can't see. Yeah. Like if I'm on the freeway, I will be fucked. Like I cannot see very far. I cannot see that far ahead of me. Like, so if I'm driving 80 miles... Freeway is scary because that's peak requirement for, like, depth perception.
Yeah. But I don't need to take the freeway to get new glasses if my glasses break. So that's why I'm like, I don't care.
Like if you're driving without glasses, the scary thing is, like, life and death stuff depends on, can you tell whether or not that car that's way up there has actually stopped?
Yes.
And is actually not moving and you're rocketing towards it.
Yeah.
And it's a lot harder to tell without depth perception and proper...
Yeah,
like HD eyes.
Yeah, it gets real hard when your eyes go like, woo, like kind of blurry.
You really need the SLI turned on at that point if you want to have that.
It's fine though. I've considered getting contacts at some point, Like
at the very least, I can human without glasses.
yeah, like I can go my daily. I can maneuver my life.
And my prescription hasn't been changing at all really for like the last 15 years, so I can. It'll be this way for a while at the very least.
Yeah,
I could just human fine.
That's how I feel like with mine for like the past at least 2 years. They've been consistent where it's been like, yeah, just keep that.
So in the mystical universe where self-driving cars come into being, but like the glasses industry goes up in flames, we'll be able to still survive. Because it won't even be a disability at that point.
Yeah, that's true. I won't. When I go to the DMV, I have to like make sure my car doesn't need glasses.
Mm-hmm. But the only thing I can think of is like I've been going over in my head over and over again because I'm like I was tired because like the beginning of the day and I'm like going off to get like caffeine and shit. I'm like,
you're starting to doubt yourself.
I don't know if I did a weird mistake.
Did I fuck up these old people like in the right? No.
Yeah, it's just a weird thing where like I remember like by the. You come off the freeway and there's that one fitness place with a yielding right turn.
Yeah.
Like, I've had the person behind me blare their horn at me before because I turned right in there, then went to the left lane. And as far as I could tell, somebody tried to weave around me and, like, beat me to the left lane from behind me. Like it's a single lane yielding turn, so they were behind me.
Yeah.
So all I can tell is they tried to beat me to the left lane, then blare their horn when I, like, cut them off when I was always in front of them.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm sorry I didn't take the exact parabola as you did or whatever the fuck.
I didn't do it in the velocity and speed at which you did. But I was still going there.
But it was like we've all had our share of like close calls or spooky moments in cars and things like that. Of like, oh, I wish I had slightly changed that one and stuff like that. I've been grateful to never be in an actual accident where I hit another moving vehicle and damage occurs. I have scraped paint of 2 parked cars, one of which was my family's car.
Perfect.
So that was my mom's fault. I blame her for that still. The other one was me being dumb. We were at a Mel's and I was still new at driving, and I was gonna go pick up my mom because I'd taken her to a restaurant. And I was gonna go. She was on our way out. I think she went to use the restroom or something. And I was just gonna go pick her up at the front of the restaurant after getting in the car. But I got too like excited or aggressive or whatever, and then like I turned too soon while packing out.
Yeah.
So the front like nudged against the car next to us. I'm like, fuck. But instead my dad just did like trade work or something. They're like, hey, we'll buff that out real quick because my dad works at a car place. It's like, we'll just not tell anyone about this, right? And no one has to deal with insurance going up like on any side. I've had so many accidents. I've had like so many accidents in a car. Fuck that.
I've almost.
I don't ever want to be in an accident again.
I mean, I've been in 4, 5. I've been in 5.
Didn't you total your car because you hit the?
Technically, I totaled my car twice and had to recover it from there.
The 2 I know about were from your escapades in Sacramento.
Yes.
That one was
one of them wasn't an escapade.
One was you were not involved in it at all, really.
Yeah, that was someone else's escapade.
Seemingly a drunk driver crashed into your car, which knocked it into the middle of the road.
Yes.
Which got it towed, which you didn't know.
Nope.
So you're like, someone stole my car. And trying to find where your stolen car went.
Well, because all I see where my car was parked was shattered glass, which was from someone ramming into the back of my car.
So you retroactively find out that somebody rammed your car into the road and then it got towed and you had to deal with all that shit.
Yeah.
You didn't have a car, which you needed to go to your job.
But
you moved to Sacramento.
The only reason it got towed at all was because I had gotten in an accident in Sacramento previously where I ran head-on collision.
So it was like double fucked up.
Yeah, so I did a head-on collision with a trailer that no one put lights on, and in the middle of the night, I didn't see it, rammed into it.
Someone was towing a black trailer in at night with no lights, and it wasn't loaded with anything, right?
Yes.
So it was just an empty rail.
It was basically blackness.
It was like
it's just a ghost.
It was as if like somebody was like driving around with like a fucking like bear trap hanging off the back of their car at night.
It would be like basically. And so I rammed straight into that. Like it was one of those moments where you like the only reason I knew I was fucked was because as I was driving forward, my lights hit the wall of the thing. So the lights go like straight ahead on the road and there's a wall there and you're like,
yep,
that's 45 miles per hour. I can't stop. And so all I did, I just take it. Just took the hit. And but then I rear-ended somebody before from a stoplight from like 0 to 25 instantly, rammed them in the back, destroyed the back of their car.
Damn.
But I turned right, like when you're going from the hill over here by the school, that hill, and then you can keep going straight, and there's that turn, that really sharp turn.
Yeah.
It says like you need to go like 25 here, and you gotta be. I was like, yeah, 75, and I just took it. And somebody freaked out. I was in the car with people. I was in the car with.
I mean, most of these situations, someone should freak out.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing. I was fine. I was making the turn because I was drifting, and the one person freaked out. So I thought there was a person in the road that I didn't see, or I was going to hit somebody. So I stepped on the brakes and then went, oh shit, I can't do that because it'll lock the car up. So the car locked up, and I just slammed right into the sidewalk and just destroyed my axle. And everyone else in the car, including the person who said something that caused it, got super injured. I did not take any damage. So they deserved it because they should have just shut up and we would have been fine.
I hate cars.
But I've never been injured in a car accident. And I'm the only one in my car.
Aren't the drivers the least likely to be injured in a car accident?
I mean, well, I did a head-on collision with something.
That would usually do it.
Yeah.
I think.
And I'm the only one in my car that never wears a seatbelt. I don't wear seatbelts, and it is the bane of literally every other person's existence that gets in the car with me somehow. But they're always the ones that get hurt in the accident.
You just want to go all or nothing. Like, you're either going to have no injury or be literally dead.
Yeah.
You're just going to skip straight to the end.
I'm not going to wear a seatbelt. Seatbelts suck, dude.
I literally don't even notice they exist.
I do. That's the problem.
I'm just I don't have a seatbelt on.
And it was like I had to deal with. I'm
so baffled.
The worst. I think that was the only worst part of the whole.
The number of life decisions you do that are simultaneously racing towards your grave.
I mean,
yeah, all smoking, no seatbelts. I can't eat all these things, but I do it anyway sometimes and just feel the pain.
It's fine. I mean, I
like the part where my body rejects the food I eat.
I've gotten here.
I just
still
embrace
alive.
it sometimes.
I mean, I got yelled at profusely in France driving because I had to drive, and it was like every single thing I did was not acceptable for driving.
Was it Naya?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course it was. Every time I would.
An important thing to understand about friendship with Andrew is that an important part of friendship with Andrew is yelling at Andrew.
Yes. I'm sure you can go ahead on the Discord and ask Naya. She will tell you it worked. It worked wonders.
Let's get a guest call from Cal and Joe just in this podcast real quick, just to commiserate this.
Everybody will commiserate it.
As we have our post-Tokyo Godfathers conversation about whether or not reality exists with Andrew. It's I can't be sure that anything's true.
All I know is I would get yelled at before I even turned the car on because I would sit down and didn't put my seatbelt on by default. And so she knew I was just going to turn the car on and go. And so she would have to yell immediately as sitting down, seatbelt on. And it's I haven't even turned the car. It's but you're not going to put it on. It's well, yeah, I'm not. But
it's I commuted with Carissa for 2.5 years, and she would just pull out her phone on the freeway. I'm no. I would just reach over and take it. And it's this is mine now.
See, I would do that too.
What are you going to do? You can't take it from me.
Yeah, that's what I use my phone when I'm driving. I was sitting there, no seatbelt, using my phone. I was driving, I was speeding, and Naya's just having convulsions. She's you can't, none of this, you can't do any of it, just slapping me basically. I'm stop, woman, I'm trying to drive. And she's no, you're not. You're literally not trying to drive. That's the problem.
It really is for the best that I drove us to San Francisco then.
No, I'm perfect at driving to San Francisco. I can drive San Francisco super easily.
I've had 2 really bad scares where one was my longest drive ever at that point. I had Max and a few other people loaded up in the car. We were all going to surprise a friend of mine for his birthday, who lives all the way down in Santa Barbara, because he went to UC Santa Barbara, so we were just driving all the way down there.
It's not too bad.
There was this amazing moment where I slightly glanced at something naturey for a brief second, and at that exact moment, everyone slammed on their brakes. And we were in my 82 Firebird, which is not a fantastic vehicle for safety to begin with.
Mm-mm.
And I slam on the brakes, and we start fishtailing.
Yep.
Because I slammed on the brakes, but swerved into the other lane, which was empty, because it was a 2-lane road.
Yeah.
It's one of those ones where it's a 4-lane highway, but the 2 lanes of each side are completely separate from each other, all to get on different roads, basically.
And that bird is not a. It's not the. So it's not the pinnacle.
I think I fishtailed 3 times in the empty lane, and I'm just this is the scariest thing that's ever happened to me. And I just have to continue driving for 3 more hours after this, it didn't happen.
It is crazy.
It was really uncomfortable. The other one that happened was also a fishtail situation, so I guess that's a reoccurring thing. But this one at least involved water. It wasn't that scary. No one was in danger. It was very abrupt. and surreal, which is that I was driving home from school, and that first right turn into residential.
Yeah.
There was a puddle.
Okay.
So
did you hydroplane?
Yeah, hydroplane. I went from being stopped.
I love when people experience that for the first time because they have no idea what the fuck is happening.
It was baffling. So I was completely stopped, and I turned right after being completely stopped at the red light, but I gunned it a little too much while turning, and I'm just facing the sidewalk. I'm just stopped and facing the sidewalk, and I'm like, I am perpendicular to the direction of the road. Like, I'm in a slow traffic area, and I'm not moving right now, so everything's fine.
Yeah, but the fact that
some people have to sit for a second while I awkwardly fix this shit. But like, so no real danger unless someone's really stupid and turn left, swerving into somebody, and like, I'm not going to stop with that car that's perpendicular to the road.
I'm not going to stop with the blockade.
It's probably an optical illusion of satellites or something. But yeah, that was like, what the I've never done a sensor before, or like, it's just that one time, like 10 years ago. I'm like, the fuck?
That feeling is programmed to happen. It is
happens to everyone once.
No,
like,
my car does it every time I turn.
I meant to say puddles, and I
said buckets
with puckets or pockets or something, and I said puckets, and I'm like,
I said puckets.
It's just a sound.
Yeah. I went to go get my car serviced because my car that I've had has in total had like 6 recalls on it.
Mm-hmm.
Because cars are just not made anymore, I guess. Because there's like recalls for everything. It was like, by the way, your car will just explode. Did you like?
I won the lottery there. I've had no problems. It's been great, except that one time. Shit.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Every car has to have a fucking recall because somebody
not
just
a recall. I just said a bad thing.
Oh.
Which I don't know if it was damage or wear and tear or just random RNG or sabotage.
RNG? Sabotage, Jesus. But when I went to go get my car fixed, and when I got it back, I realized that every time I turn now, if I say I'm turning off the freeway, when I turn off the freeway, they say like, oh, go 45, blah, blah. I'm like, nah, fuck it, 58, 50, whatever, as fast as I can go.
At least you slow down, I guess.
I mean,
you're not going off the road at 75 miles per hour.
I would, but
just seeing what happens.
I normally I would, but what happens is, sometimes I go slower because I turned into that lane because I basically was like, oh, I'm gonna miss that turn, so I just cut people off and I have to slow down a bit to compensate. But
you should stay home more.
I do.
You should just stay home all the time.
I do.
Never drive and have all of your food delivered by Amazon.
I tried, but then Amazon was like, "Go outside, get food." I was like, "This is your want."
To Amazon Fresh for like a month or something.
No, I had it for like 6 months.
Yeah, and they just went away. It's like, well, there goes your ability to never leave.
And now people just want me to go outside. That's your guys' fault. When people start dying, it's
Amazon. The blood's on your hands.
Yeah. So no, but
this will be really unfunny if it actually happens.
They put a feature in my damn car now. So if I make a sharp turn over 55 miles an hour, it will fishtail my car
automatically.
It's
supposed to?
No. And I was like, "Can you fix that?"
Like a weird problem.
And so I was like, "Can you like fix this because I can't do sharp Indy turns now like I'm some kind of fucking NASCAR racer?" And they were like, "Yeah, you just pay us money." I was like, "No. This wasn't a default option. This is not, my car didn't come with the idea that I have to drive like an actual safe driver. That wasn't the plan. The plan was that I could just use this car irresponsibly." And so now I can't and me and Mackenzie experienced it the first time. Like we both got terrified because I was like,
probably should.
Yeah, because I was just ripping it in 75 down a turn and the car
freeway and then fishtailing is probably a time to be terrified.
Yeah, and the car just goes like, you hear this loud, it was like, bah, 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 and my car just stops. Like the whole both back tires just basically lock. And I was like, I don't think this is how a car's supposed to work, but I'm in the opposite lane, and those are people getting onto the freeway, which is not the best situation. So it's like, okay.
I always feel disgustingly lucky about basically everything in my life. To the point, like, growing up in like a middle class, like, just middle class neighborhood.
Suburban neighborhood.
Nothing goes wrong, really.
It's like,
parents get divorced, but only when I'm like about to graduate high school, and it's like, I'm not going to be like, having weird abandonment issues in my brain or anything like that because it doesn't affect my upbringing. It's just like, oh yeah, they're done with each other now.
As they do.
And like going through college and not getting debt in the process. And like even the car shit, it's like my dad was a car nut. So like I I just like,
You
even though I
got
had a
that-
dumb 82 Firebird, it was like, this is not a desirable car to drive, even though it's neat. But
Yeah.
like, it was like hand chosen by some guy that knows what like everything about shit.
Yeah.
So like for me, the grand total of amazing problems to have with my car was that like it just would break down sometimes.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember
So
you said like the car
yeah.
just didn't work.
You'd be on the freeway and just be like, oh yeah, your car's it's going to stop working now. So you should just make your way over the right and then just have a fun next hour of like getting like a tow truck or other people involved, and then a cop coming by to see if everything's all right and shit like that. Like at one point, yeah, like I broke down on the freeway, like I broke down the freeway like in the last quarter mile of the freeway before the turn, and I'm like, fuck, and you just pull on the side of the road and on the far right, and like it's just like, oh yeah, some expensive part stopped working because it was made 40 years ago or something. And by the way, there's no more in the world or something like that.
Yeah,
like we eventually got rid of the car because of the fact that like and
almost every part was just not replaceable.
yeah, each part kept getting rarer and rarer. It's like, okay, this needs to go to some collector or something so they can just deal with it.
Yeah,
that's what they like to do. And then I got the most boring car ever, which I love, which is I just drive a Civic.
Yeah,
and it's like, yeah,
it's safe. It
which,
works.
when I first got into it, felt like the Star Trek Enterprise.
Yeah, because your old car is like old.
Yeah, I had manual pedals.
Yeah,
like where you like hit you have to hurt them.
Yes,
to
you
use
need
them.
to push them down.
Whereas I now have like electronic pedals, and I've got like a screen that like can play my podcast and shit like that. And the air conditioner worked, which was new for me. I've never had, and that was my first time having a car where the air conditioner did things.
Yeah,
as opposed to blow on you and pretend.
It's like your car just like.
And when something goes wrong with this car, you just take it to a shop, and
they'll
then
fix
later
it,
that day, it's not a problem anymore. I'm like, oh, isn't that neat?
Yep.
It's fucking expensive still sometimes, which would happen to me is my power steering just stopped.
Oh, yeah, it's a fun one.
Yeah. My power steering in a car that is not a bunch of tubes and fluids, but has electronic power steering, which means that some expensive part has to be replaced or something. I see a lot of raccoons around, so I thought that maybe one of them just went in and just fucked up my car.
Oh, it's possible, yeah.
Which is possible.
My sister had a rat in her car for like a month.
So I thought that might have happened, like a raccoon just like gnawed on something and fucked something up and just cost me the biggest amount of money I've ever spent on anything.
On a car.
Yeah.
Like on a vehicle.
Fucking terrifying.
It's, yeah.
But yeah, I've never had a recall. I've never had weird problems. I've never had a recall, period. I never got a red ring of death. And I had 3 Xbox 360s over the course of the lifespan.
Did I get it? I don't think. No, I didn't. I never had a red ring because I bought
And I dodged the yellow dot or whatever for the
PlayStation
3.
Yeah, I did not.
I've never experienced a recall.
I've hit nothing but bad. I had a divorce when I was a child, so like pretty much right out the gate, just both my parents were like, no, fuck each other, and then
They don't fuck each other.
Well, yeah, they flip each other off and leave. Then what? My first car was a Saturn, and then Saturn as a company just went bankrupt. So, and then about 6 months after I got that car, the engine died. So the price of buying a Saturn engine went up like exponentially. So I had to pay 2 times the amount it would normally cost to replace an engine. By the way, had to replace an entire engine.
It's like they found out that Saturn engines were good for Bitcoin mining.
Yeah, basically. And so I had that Saturn. What, forever? I had that Saturn until like not that long ago. I think until probably 4 or 5 years ago, I want to say, is when I got rid of that car. But
I think I remember it.
Yeah, the brown one.
My experience with all my friends' cars is that they all have like a car that might have cost like $200 at some point to get to acquire.
Yeah.
And were you the one who basically didn't have brake pads, or was that Max? I think it might have been Max.
That was Max.
Max had like a car where when he braked, you would just hear grinding. Yeah.
Yowzers.
Like Max has always had garbage cars all the time. And I'm like, his newest car is like a grandma car. Like it has like a track that goes over the window that has a seatbelt.
Yeah.
And like the seatbelt goes.
I love those. Those are great.
How fucking old is this car?
It's like the most futuristic thing, by the way.
It's an alternate future.
Yeah.
It's one of those dead ends.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
When you like, it's one of those ideas that somebody had for future cars, and then everyone's like, nope, and then it never happened again. So it's like it was the vision of the future that went dead in the 90s, like that kind of specific.
It's actually, but there's nothing actually bad about it. It's actually
It's just weird.
It's good though because it forces people to have their seatbelt.
It reminds me of how like
have you ever noticed that it's like one of the you can't kind of like
I mean, yeah, it fix you.
Yeah.
It's like your car puts your seatbelt on for you.
Yeah. Like I
And
thought
now it constricts you to death.
But it's like
AI uprising. The car has the power over the seatbelt.
I'm just saying it's a weird thing to have thrown away in the 90s considering all the stuff that we kept instead, which was like that
we also thought cars should open their doors up.
That's what I'm saying. There's still
and we were like, nah.
And then we made Teslas that do it. Get rid of the damn opening sideways doors. I don't care about that shit. I care about like cars having
and
weird.
There's like three versions. There's the ones that rotate up. There's the ones that
Yeah.
literally open out in the most space destroying way possible.
Oh yeah, the ones that are just like. Brrr, brrr, like
the worst one ever is when they just go.
Oh yeah,
like wings. It's like, oh great job never being able to park next to somebody ever again.
DeLorean style.
Yeah,
DeLorean style doors are awful.
That's the worst door plan ever because you'd have to have a car shaped parking space that's empty between every parking space.
Yeah,
just to make cars like that be able to exit in a parking lot.
Well, I think the point of a DeLorean was the hope that all cars would become that.
So that we'd need more space in parking lots?
No, so that way we just wouldn't have as many people driving because DeLoreans were expensive. So, like, yeah.
We're going to price them out.
Yeah, like maybe we just priced out plebeians.
That's how marketing works.
I mean, kind of, yeah. That's how the housing market
That's
works.
the things that everyone wants, though, like that. Yeah, I'm going to guess people would have to just figure out how not to do with it.
Yeah.
Like houses. We have a whole generation currently figuring out how to deal with a life without houses.
Surprisingly, they just don't stay in one place for very long.
And then everyone's like, millennials are killing the diamond market. It's like, what the fuck are you going to do with that? I need to eat.
I can't afford a house. Why am I going to buy a diamond?
I need to fucking eat. You think I need diamonds? So if you're ever wondering, whenever I talk about days where I go record with Andrew and then I get home really late, it's because of this shit.
Yeah.
Where we can just talk for fucking ever.
Yep.
So we'll finish our day of recording and then we'll just sit in his kitchen or living room or whatever and just like talk for 5 hours. Your screen's all flashed green for a second there. That was weird.
Did they?
Like they went up a little bit. Like the bottom part went.
Oh.
It was like, what the fuck was that?
Spooky.
Because we can just fucking talk forever.
Should we try reading a question?
That's the issue. Is I was like, I'll just talk about that accident I almost got in, and then an hour passes.
It did.
We can do questions. We can fucking knock this shit out of the park.
So let's see. I just wanted to ask, what made you decide to do YouTube of all things?
Did we do this one already?
I don't know.
Look.
Oh yeah,
opening.
I think.
Why is something opening?
Why is something opening?
You have a virus.
Go away. Okay. I think we might have done this one actually. Did you click on something?
Where's the mouse? Does somebody have access to your computer via remote desktop?
No, I never would allow that. No, this is a new one.
I think it's new.
Yeah. So I just want to ask, what made you decide to do YouTube of all things, and what were Andrew's?
You can tell it's an old question because it asks what was Andrew's old job.
Yeah, what was Andrew's?
Was our second episode, I think.
Yeah, Andrew's previous jobs.
Got fired from every job.
Since we know that Keith was a geologist, I couldn't actually think of a proper question. Greetings from South Africa, and keep doing what you're doing. Wow, South Africa. That's like the furthest you could get from us besides like Australia.
I think Australia might be closer.
No, it wouldn't.
No, the Atlantic's really big. Huh?
Yeah, no, because going to South Africa would be like a 20-hour flight. I think. No, maybe.
I don't know. The flight comparison's only accurate if it's a straight line flight.
Because that's what I'm saying.
Because if they stop at other places, then it's like that adds it to a lot.
Yeah, straight flight.
Because like a straight flight. That's an issue with like Australia too. Is they'd probably go by Hawaii.
You'd have to go to Hawaii, then you have to go to Japan.
Like the wrong way.
Yeah.
But it's because of fuel.
Yeah.
But like Hawaii is not towards Australia, really.
No.
I mean, it's west, but it's the wrong west. It's like northwest instead of southwest, and it's like you're just adding to it.
But yeah, I've explained my previous jobs were basically just...
go watch episode 2.
Yeah, tech stuff.
Like that other question we got where they were like, how'd you guys decide to do YouTube? And we're like, watch episode 1. I don't know how you missed that. It was the beginning. This one's at least like, this might have been asked after the first podcast.
Yeah. So let's see. What? How?
You skip the next one.
Yeah, I just went to the next one.
Was it the other part? Was like, what? How did you guys decide to do YouTube? Which was also what episode 1 was, or something.
Yeah. How did we? Yeah. Episode 1 is how we.
The way they phrased it is, how did you decide to do YouTube of all things? Right?
Yeah, of all
Which
things.
Is like,
yeah.
That's like not.
That wasn't
how it worked.
That's not how it worked.
Yeah.
We didn't decide to do YouTube. YouTube just worked out.
Yeah, people think that you like pick a job and then like YouTube is like that, like you just like apply and you get it or something.
No.
I mean, I don't think people really think that's like that, but they often think that you just decide to do YouTube.
Yeah,
but
you think there's
everyone ever that has ever made a living off of YouTube, assuming they weren't like hired by an existing channel or something, got there by starting like a hobby channel.
Basically, it's I want to make something for funsies, and then oops, funsies became a job.
Yeah.
Like, that's basically how it worked.
Like, was it Michael Jones, Rage Quit, just made videos of him yelling at shit. And then Rooster Teeth was like, we're going to hire you.
And he's like, well, I got a job now.
Vlogbrothers was so far back, YouTube wasn't even a medium you could even make money on yet. Because it didn't have the marketing and advertising, but also didn't have the scale at all. It was a tiny website by comparison. But like, John and Hank Green just had this idea because they're not in contact with each other that much to just communicate with each other entirely through vlogs directed at each other.
Well, yeah, but you have to think of this is old YouTube to the point where like you can't send a video to each other. Like now you can send a video over your mobile phone to your friends or whatever.
They're making vlogs at each other, which were of course also for an audience. So they're also kind of designed to be entertaining. And then that just kind of became the basis of a channel I still watch now. Which I've been watching for like a decade now, which is bizarre.
It's more bizarre. They've been doing it for like almost 2 decades.
Or Philip DeFranco was also just another random asshole vlogger that just kept going through identity changes over time of like, this is what I'm doing now, and this is my new format. And then, now he's
just
like
a
the
news
biggest
channel.
Patreon ever.
He has the biggest Patreon for a news network, basically.
Yeah.
That has yet to come to existence.
People fall into it a lot. Like Jim Sterling, he just was a writer on Destructoid and got a particular following a bit as he also jumped to Escapist and stuff, and then
when he left
eventually
Escapist,
brought his audience to YouTube. You just hop to whatever fits at the time.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them are like that. Rooster Teeth is the same way. Rooster Teeth like took forever to come to YouTube.
Everyone. Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember that. Yeah, all the Red vs. Blue videos on YouTube were just third-party uploaders that were recording their videos.
They went to YouTube, then they started making a buttload of other channels and seeing what stuck, and then some did, and that's why Let's Play exists now. Is because Let's Play is just somebody decided let's put video game videos on the internet and see how it goes. It's just like shit like that. Same with Game Grumps.
A lot of people are just fucking
same
around
with Eagle Raptor. Just made animations, threw it on Newgrounds, put it on YouTube eventually.
You just fall into a thing and then you're like, oh, this is working. I guess I'll do this.
Yeah.
Like almost everyone who's an entrepreneur or whatever the fuck on YouTube, or just somebody, or in Andrew's case, just on YouTube, just is on YouTube. You just fall into it or feel like doing it and you give it a shot, and there's some people who stick with it and almost no one does.
You eventually get to a point where you either, I feel like with YouTube, you get to a point where you either are successful and you have the drive to keep doing it, like you enjoy what you're doing still and you're successful, or you get to a point where you figured it out enough that you could probably keep going at your rate and you'll succeed to a degree.
Or those people who just stubbornly stick it out no matter what.
Yeah.
And they don't even care. They're either not making money or they don't even care about making money. They just feel like
doing stuff. Yeah.
Like OG YouTubers basically are still around. There's a lot of people that just run a channel and they've been there for years and years, and they just will do it. Like there's a channel called Stormdane Productions that had like Storm's Adventure with Sonic Adventure and stuff like that. Like those videos. That guy, I one day realized that I was passing him in subs, and now I've multiplied his subscriber count at this point. Like he's been doing that channel for like 10 years, and he's got like 13K, I think.
Damn.
Like it's just a few times a year he makes us a new like video review that's edited and joking and shit, and he just keeps doing it. It's like,
and I mean, that's fine. That's the thing that's nice about YouTube is there's no rules.
I mean, that's the one rule though, is you need the drive to do it.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like
no one makes you.
But YouTube doesn't have
unless you get hired.
Yeah, YouTube doesn't have restrictions. You can post a video, you can make one video and then come back.
It has restrictions, but you have to know about what the restrictions are. Then you maybe should rethink some things.
You know what I mean though. It's like you can make a video and then come back 2 years later and make another video, and like no one's gonna stop you.
You can just do what you want.
You just do it.
You can leave and come back.
It depends on your level of seriousness to it, your commitment to quality, your commitment to like consistency. All of it is just whatever you want to do, and
there's basically there's no barrier for entry. You can just start it and do it, and
there's definitely no barrier for entry.
There's so little investment required to start that you could just stop and not go through anything.
Yeah. The worst investment you can make is
well, the worst thing you can do is spend a ton of money on your YouTube channel without knowing that it'll ever go anywhere.
Yeah, but so your best bet is usually just to buy. Well, most people don't have to buy more than one microphone. You buy a microphone, and then you just do that.
A snowball's like $50.
Yeah, you could buy a snowball for $50.
It's like a video game of price.
Yeah,
and that's an all right one. These are significantly better.
They're $100.
This is an AT2020. It's like $100 on a regular basis, and you see people with millions of subscribers using them.
Yeah,
all the way up to the top. Like they're all over the fucking
all the way up to the top. It goes all the way up.
You go to the fucking Axis of Awesome guy. You know the blonde guy in that team, that band.
Yeah,
like he has his phone's channel. I see him with the microphone in the videos. He's using an AT2020.
Yeah,
on his music channel.
It's the most. I mean, AT2020s are both. They're consistent in quality. They're affordable and they're small.
Yeah.
Which are like all
let's play purposes. Like OBS is free.
OBS is free,
minus the time it takes to research how the fuck to get your settings right. And
whatever
stuff like that,
you get lunch breaks.
Just get them wrong for a while anyway.
Yeah.
Some video editors are free. Some of them are not, but a lot of them are surprisingly cheap. Like Sony Vegas is now called Magix Vegas.
It has like a subscription, doesn't it?
No, you can just buy it.
Oh, you can just
buy Magix Vegas 15, and there's multiple tiers of it, and like. It's not that expensive, but that's already too much.
Yeah, Premiere's $10 a month.
But once you add this shit up and you're getting like a editing software and you're getting a microphone and you're like upgrading your computer and you're getting an Elgato already, you're like that's like $1,000. You got
I mean you have to.
You really got to dip your feet in with like only a microphone basically.
You always start out with just what you can afford, which most people can afford. Again, that's why I said like if you can get a snowball $50, AT2020 is $100, so you can spend an extra $50, that's okay.
Yeah.
But again, that's all you need.
Just don't expect to make it back. It's like a fun purchase.
Yeah. Once you get that microphone, though, I mean, that you'll just coast on that for a while.
And hey, you can use that microphone for video games.
And I mean, look at
if you don't use it for
honestly,
YouTube.
A good example is JonTron. He coasted on a shitty Handicam video or a shitty Handycam for a long time, and then eventually he just bought a better camera.
But what's always the problem with YouTube channels is selection bias, because you only see popular channels because they're popular. By just the nature of probability and also how YouTube promotes things and stuff. The most likely channels for you to know about are the ones that are actually popular because they reach the most people, which is then you. That's how selection works. Yeah. So everyone sees like the Markipliers and shit like that and like, oh, I can do that, that's easy, and all I have to do is do what he's doing and I win, and like that's it. Like they don't understand they don't see like the fucking like massive graveyard surrounding every single YouTuber, which is it's just like you only experience that by being on the Let's Play subreddit and just watching them die every week, basically. And like
it's interesting. It's like I guess if you want a good example of what it looks like, if what YouTube looks like when you're looking at one particular YouTuber like PewDiePie, Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, any of them, go like watch the trailer for like Kingdom Hearts 3, the old one, that used to be there, where it's like just a row of keyblades for mountains and mountains, and you're like, those are all the channels. Those are like all the channels that died on the wake to this one, and there's like a hill at the end and it has a guy on the top. It's like that's what it looks like. It's just one guy on the top of a cliff, and there's thousands of dead channels, like millions of them laying in waste.
It's amazing how often you can find another channel that has like 1,000 subscribers and its own custom like cartoon art for its characters, and like their favorite game is on their banner, and they uploaded some videos for like 3 months and then they stopped, just gave up. Or then maybe especially those ones that have like a history where like they uploaded like 3 videos 5 years ago and then 4 videos like 2 years ago, and like they keep kind of coming back and then dying again because it's really demotivating to have like no feedback,
which is what we talked about a couple
everyone's afraid of showing their shit because they think everyone's going to hate their shit. What actually happens is no one says anything, and also no one watches your videos and no one ever finds them, and your videos just sit there.
I just at some point for me, and it's like there are a lot of videos, like plenty of videos I throw out there, and like they just get nothing compared to other videos. And
you're like, what do you want?
There's a part of me that just shouts like, what do people want? But like, at the end of the day, I don't really care as long as I enjoyed making it.
Yep.
And if I enjoyed making it, then I'll probably do it again, even if no one likes it, which is the difference between like I enjoy doing the vlogs, which is why I kept doing them. But like versus I really hate playing fucking visual novels, and like there's a part of me that just is not going to do that ever again. Like I can't do it.
How you fell into that? That's so weird.
It was just a random.
Played one dumb high school game and like it's the biggest thing on the channel.
Yeah, basically.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Just like Tokyo Jungle.
Yep. And
At least I was like, oh, it's the biggest thing. The biggest stuff on my channel is fucking. Oh wow.
Oh, RPGs. Damn. I don't know.
Dark Souls.
I don't know if I'm gonna play more Dark Souls.
Man, it's a bummer that everyone likes it when I play Dark Souls.
Yeah, just lap it up.
If only it was something compatible with what I like to do.
So let's see.
Oh no, now it's The Witness. Oddly, the biggest thing on my entire channel, I believe, is I think it might be. It's either Samorost 3, which is a side-scrolling point-and-click adventure game, or it's Wasteland 2.
Wasteland 2?
Yeah, one of those is my top video ever.
That's weird.
I don't remember anymore, but yeah, it was a bit of a surprise.
All right, let's see. How good are you at ironing? Also, did you know that ticking suction? Yeah. Also, did you know that licking suction cups improves their sticking power? Just thought I'd mention that. Yeah, I do, because the dildo's still on the wall. And could Andrew give us a guided tour?
Oh, how good are you at ironing's the title? I was like, where'd you find that question?
Yeah, it's in the title, which is surprisingly a good use of subject bar. But
I haven't ironed anything since I have been a YouTuber.
I ironed stuff before I left on my trip because it was going to be folded and in a suitcase that was going to rumble and tumble, and I didn't want it to look like poop. But
it's actually a weird correlation because like when I started making videos with you was when I had just quit Best Buy.
Yeah,
and I had a buzz cut that I was letting grow out and stuff, so I was in that fuzzy phase of weird, awkward mid-length hair for the our original Sit and Discuss session and everything like that way back in 2011, and I ironed my uniform for the last time at work. Yeah. And I burned my hand for the first time. And that was the last time I ever ironed anything because I was quitting my job. At the time, it was just like they were giving me so few hours because they were working. Because I had an awkward schedule where I was working in this town, but I was going to school an hour away. And so I had a commute schedule and a homework schedule. And I was supposed to like hold my own weight in the family by working a job, but it's like, how the fuck do I juggle that with the college thing you raised me to do?
Yeah.
Like, which is supposed to be my job, basically, at this point. Make up your mind.
I'm supposed to be a full-time student.
Like, do you want me to be a full-time student or not? Dad. It's never not funny to say it that way, right?
It's just not. I think it's just more funny because like I know that is true.
Yeah,
like when you say it like that, it is like is a genuine.
There's a special brand of bullshit parenting that happens that we've all experienced, which is that we get raised to do a specific thing, and then when we do that thing, it's like that's not what we want. You actually do this other thing I didn't raise you to do.
Fucking millennials, and it's like, and then what do you want?
Like, you raised me.
What do you want, old man? It's your damn job.
I went through so much time being called like a freeloader and shit like that for just doing what I was told to do,
which is college.
When I was growing up, which is like going through high school and then.
Keith, are you ever going to get a career? It's like yes.
At your age, I was already working a job, and at your age, I was having you and stuff like that. I was like. Didn't you specifically want me to go to college? Why do you want me to do shit at the same time scale as your life if you specifically want me to do the shit you didn't do, which is go to college? Could you make up your fucking mind? God damn. That was the whole thing.
This is why we specifically did not want baby boomers to run anything. But then all the old people from the previous generation started going loopy, and we had to rely on the baby boomers, and now we're
there's such a cognitive dissonance of them not being able to process like we want better for our kids, but also we want the same shit for our kids.
We want
you to work at Long John Silver's at 16, and deliver papers. And it's like, do you want me to get grades?
Yeah, it's like
I'm getting grades. Do you want me to stop getting the grades?
It's weird because our parents grew up with the mentality of like, we got everything handed to us, and we'll give it all to our kids. But we want our kids to work for it, though. But it's like, so they give you everything.
It was really weird to be like an A and B student that graduated with honors and got a scholarship for college, and then went to college, and then feel like I was doing it wrong. And I'm like, didn't I do it all right? I thought that was all the things I was supposed to do.
But you weren't working for it the way they had to work for it. So they were upset by it. So they're like, the way I worked for it was like, I had to get a job at 60. Like, yeah, but you also... Why would you worked at a job because you didn't want to go to college? You didn't care about school.
And you get to deal with all this weird paradox of like, they had to work for it, but also they got everything easier at the same time.
Like they
have a whole generation of people that just like
got jobs,
fell into having houses.
They fell into
having houses when they were like 18. I'm like, what the fuck world did you live in?
Because they lived in a world where every job was available because college wasn't the thing.
I like don't even know people who can afford apartments.
Yeah, like baby boomers had everything.
And they worked 2 jobs.
That's what I'm saying. Baby boomers had everything, and then they got so spiteful about it that they took everything away from the people who then needed it.
We got to get rid of all these entitlement programs, and millennials are ruining things by working so much and not being able to afford anything. These bunch of freeloaders that have no free time because all they do is work all the time. They pulled them up by their bootstraps and got to that college education so that it could not amount to anything, so they could then work at Starbucks and Home Depot at the same time, so that they could then move in with 3 other people to share a 2-bedroom apartment. Then they're not couples; they just can't afford a 3-bedroom apartment or a house. And these people are like, well, the millennials are all fucked up because we were the real generation that knew how to do stuff for real because we worked at a fast food restaurant and were able to afford a house. It's like, the fuck?
It always baffled me because the best part is they teach you about it. It's not like you go unaware of this happening. They teach you in history class, and baby boomers raising children are teaching those children their own stupidity to their children, where it's saying like, yeah, and then all of a sudden they got rid of all these things because it was working.
My parents are people that
what
like,
the fuck?
On top of always having houses their entire lives, like get other houses for fun.
Yeah,
like
they also had jobs that they didn't have to like compete with other people somehow. Like they were able to get jobs without having to like.
We were so well-to-do for a while there that on top of having a suburban home, we had a timeshare at a cabin and also would go to Pismo and Vegas.
Yeah.
And only one of my parents was working. My mom was unemployed throughout all of my time being in like elementary and middle school. She got a job like near the end and that's it. But it's like one guy working made like this impossible wealth that I'll probably never experience.
Yeah, I mean, growing up as a kid, I grew up like on my mom's side. It was like, yeah, my stepfather worked at like he worked at a job he had since he was like 18. So he was making like ridiculous money, and my mom had like a really fairly good job, and so both of them together with their like magic combined income was like, we had a giant 2-story house, we had timeshares, we had a motorhome, we had a boat, we had like everyone in the family had a car. Like we took vacations like twice a year. I was like, how the and as an adult, I'm like, I don't even know how I
can't imagine the concept of vacations.
And to me, I go like, I don't know how I afforded France.
Yeah,
like, and that cost less than the monthly payment for a motorhome. You were stressing
out about France for like 2 months, weren't you?
Yeah, and it was like, and the motorhome we had cost about as much as my entire trip to France.
Yep.
Like,
I grew up.
How did you people do that?
The family on top of the suburban home and the part-time with the timeshare in Tahoe. We had
in Tahoe, mind you.
We had 3 ATVs and a motorbike that we tow in a trailer, and we also had a motor boat, like a full boat. Yeah. I think you've been on or something like that. Like we had a boat that we'd take to Berryessa, so we could go witness the historic scenes of Zodiac murders. No, but we had a boat and we had timeshares and all these other things. I'm like, the fuck?
Yeah, and then you think about it now,
and you're like, working.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. And then I don't know.
Although life experiences all over the place. Like I know not to judge stuff by my personal income because my life's weird. But I look at my other people around me that got college degrees and what they're in and stuff like that, and how many of them are like just fucked, basically.
My favorite.
But I know other people that are like super rich from tech companies.
Yeah,
and they're like they they like obviously Marty has like a whole house and everything like that.
Yeah,
But also,
Marty also took advantage of the crash in 2008.
yeah,
That's how he got that house.
Marty did some smart shit at some point. He's also older than us though.
Well, he is, but I'm saying he took advantage of baby boomers fucking up, and so he ran in and grabbed a house in the meantime.
He was doing shit during an era where we weren't ready to do shit yet. Basically,
if the housing market crash happened like in 2018 rather than 2008, we would have all been set because we would have been able to run and grab houses really quickly. But no.
Oh man.
The market crashed right as we all graduated fucking high school. Is when the economy tanked. And so no one from our generation could do anything because everything was gone.
How weird is it when you see like a housewife?
I've seen a housewife
like a modern housewife.
Yeah, it's scary. It scares me. I don't.
They're like Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Like out of nowhere, you're like, oh shit, there's a housewife. I'm like, how? Like, how did you get in the situation? Because I'm like, how did you get away with this? There's like a weird sense of like, it's almost like they've like cheated the system somehow.
Yeah, they had to cheat somehow to do this.
I'm like, you don't have to work.
Well, their work is the babies, I guess.
No, not even that. I know at least 2 or 3 examples
or the
of
house.
People that
you have to clean the place.
They don't specifically do anything around the house necessarily. They feel like it and stuff like that.
They're like trophies.
Like I know people. I know at least 3 women, I think, that are like, I can't identify any actual job or income they do. And except for like, in at least 2 other cases, they'll like dabble for fun.
Do they have like a hobby?
Like, they'll like, haha, let's do that thing. Like a thing, the type
like
of job.
I have an Etsy store or something like ridiculous.
Something like that. Or like the type of job where you can like go in and like just put in for like, hey, I'll take a shift of that thing. Like at part-time type things.
Or kind of like an Uber driver or something where you like.
Or like substitute teacher.
Yeah.
Where like you can just drop in and out of it whenever you feel like it.
Yeah. It's like putting your name on a registry and saying like, yeah, you can hire me this month.
Yeah, there's multiple things like that where I'm like, how did you get away with that?
They found a guy who was willing to tolerate it.
I'm so like...
That's all it is. It's like, I personally was raised, my mother raised with the mindset, she's like, you never let someone stay home. Yeah. Never in a relationship. If you can have 2 incomes, you will have 2 incomes. And if you have 2 incomes, you can have all the kids you want and throw them to somebody else and pay them to watch them.
But also like the era is so different. We're like, for my dad, like they clearly could afford it.
Yeah.
But like nowadays, like, no one. I'm like, how is your reality working? Are you in a bubble?
Tech companies,
are you
basically
in a secret bubble from a different decade?
If you're like they're married to somebody who is a higher up in some kind of company, or they're married to somebody who does like
they win the lottery and don't have to
job
deal with jobs.
Yeah,
and just have like a fun life.
Yeah, I mean that's look at me. Look at my situation. Is like I can.
It's fascinating to look at just how incredibly unfair all of life is, and how everyone just has a bullshit whatever they land on.
Oh yeah.
Like, it feels like real life is Mario Party. And you just land on a square, and it's like, oh, you're the one red against the 3 blues? Have fun with that!
He just used Mario Party to describe racism.
Like, and everyone feels like they're working on their shit and have their own problems. So, like, everyone, like, people have so much trouble empathizing with anyone else's problems because everyone sees their own problems.
Yeah.
And that's what they can see. So yeah, like you have issues of race or what town you grow up in or what economic thing happens or like what year your parents divorce in because they seem to all get divorced, but some of them have wildly different outcomes. And
I'm under the impression that
life's fucking weird.
I have a personal mythology that like everyone will get divorced.
Yeah. Like
either.
I mean, if you had infinite time, I would imagine.
Well, that's the thing. It's like people. There's no such thing as you. When you marry someone, you never marry someone that you're going to be with forever. That's a fucking.
Nothing's forever. Is the issue, yeah.
But I mean the concept of like I will like this person for if I had time immortality. I will like this person forever. No, you won't. You will fucking hate that person at some point. I do not believe that you could like a person forever. It is not physically possible.
Now that I'm like 3 years into having roommates. I've definitely seen how just being in a house with people like breeds contempt. you can't, and so like there are people who you know what it is. It's like most people you could just slowly develop an anger over like toilet paper.
Yes, and I've learned it. Like especially when I look at my grandparents, it's like they've been married for like 50, I think it's like almost 60 years, and I look at them and I go, it's not that you guys love each other. You reached this peak where you reached a very specific hurdle where someone said, okay, here's the point. You either leave now and go have fun, or you're on this shit coaster forever. And they both looked at each other like, I mean, I would rather be miserable than alone. And so they just went. And they're the people, like, if they were both single right now and they were like, oh, let's meet some new people, I would definitely never make them talk to each other ever. They're the worst people to be associated with each other. They should never have gotten married. But the only reason they stay married is because at this point, why does it fucking matter? And so that's what I think marriage is. Marriage, you get to a point where, like, you go, I could either leave now and deal with being single again, or I could just tough out the basically shitty life that I'm in now. Because everyone will get to this point where you just run out of care for a person.
It's always hard to tell what's going on with somebody else's relationship too, though, where there's like the thing where every happy couple never seems happy.
Yeah.
Like people that don't really have complaints about the relationship and they're cool about the whole thing and will stick it out for 20 years and seem to be happy the whole time. As an outsider, you're like, they don't get along at all. It's like often what it feels like, or like,
yeah,
like,
I mean,
like what something that one of the fucked up things that always happens, of course, is like Wander and Shell will record a co-op thing together or something.
Yeah,
and like people will like judge their relationship in the comments. And it's
really,
like, and it's like, but haven't you? I feel like it's a bunch of stupid children that haven't been around relationships before and don't understand that, like,
most likely
people constantly seem like they don't fully get along in relationships. I
mean, bickering is normal. Like, you have to but that's the thing, is like there's a difference between bickering and like viciousness. Like, if you see two people like going at it and you're like, okay, this is a fucking problem, and then even if it's just there's a thing we just really don't agree upon, it's like, okay, that's fine, but like, you better hope that's the only one. Yeah. Because if it starts bubbling and you start building more of these things, which is what my grandparents are at, they fucking hate every single thing about each other. And it's like, at what point, why? At what point, literally, why do you continue living by hating each other? And it's like, well, we've been married this long and we'll finish it. I'm like, it's not a fucking competition.
Do you think Shadow came over because he thought that we were yelling?
Yeah.
I think he was like, oh no.
Yeah, I think he was upset. Yeah, or he thought we were upset about something.
He was like a little trembly. You notice that?
Yeah, it's like, okay, Pops.
It's just
okay.
We're doing it. It's performative.
But like, that's
Do
the thing.
You understand what performances are, dog?
No, he doesn't, because he interrupts him all the time.
Just when dogs learn how to lie. That thing that old dogs learn, which is when a bad thing happens, they don't want to be blamed for it, so they do a performance.
Yeah, they try to make you feel better
away and stuff like that.
But it's like, I don't
make eye contact with the thing that they did.
I don't know. It's weird. Like, I always in my mind, I always believe, because maybe it's because every marriage I've ever seen in my life, except for ones that obviously have happened since I've like in my generation, but like every adult marriage I've ever encountered has ended.
Yeah, more or less.
They've all ended.
Yeah, my grandparents are still together.
That's it. My grandparents are still together, but everybody else.
I almost wonder if they have to stay together.
They do.
Like they have a thing where they're not allowed to split up.
That's why. Because my parents split up when I was younger, or they split up in a time where like they basically split up when it would be okay to split up.
Yeah, my parents are divorced. My dad's divorced. My dad's in his third marriage, so he's divorced even before I got to me. Which, I mean, I was born fucking early, so it's like that was a short marriage. My aunt has been divorced like 3 times, I think. Yeah. My uncle's divorced.
I mean, and the thing is,
my grandfather that's really religious has remarried. Yeah.
And it's not to say, and here's the thing, it's not to say that people, like, for one, I'm not saying that like everybody, like the person you marry is never going to be like, it's always doomed to fail. The problem is, like, when you marry someone, 9 times out of 10, you're just not accustomed to this weird, strange thing. And so you make weird, strange mistakes, which is like marrying a person that you think you can marry. You learn you can't marry. You learn you can't be married to them.
I think about the age at which most people seem to get married over the generations and stuff. And I think about like, I thought I was going to be a geologist at that age.
Yeah.
Or I didn't even know I was going to be a geologist yet at that age. It's like, I think high school age, I thought I was going to be like a video game designer. And then college age, I thought I was going to be a geologist. And even now, I still don't fucking know where I'm going in life. And I'm like, I'm supposed to have been married by now and maybe divorced and married again in some people's cases. I mean, I'm like, how the fuck did you think you had your life figured out enough that you were going to stick with a specific person already?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I feel like if you're going to get married, like...
Kudos for confidence, but how'd that work out?
Yeah. But the thing, I don't know. I guess I also have the mentality, because I've seen so many just get... Basically, almost every marriage just destroy itself. Usually it's always because of like multitude of things. It's either cheating, either two people like raised children together and then just became spiteful about one another because of the children. They like what is it? It's like two people who thought they were compatible because they got married at such a young age and then realized that we actually just are growing up in different perspectives. Like just so many things.
One of my longest relationships I was ever in just broke off one day. And then I retroactively found out that they had been planning to break up with me for like the majority of the relationship and just kept not doing it.
Yeah.
Because I found out via like third party people and stuff like that. I think including Alex actually was like one of the people I think that
it was probably
it was
Alex.
Yeah. It's like I'm just finding out through all these third parties that she had all these complaints the whole time and that she never broke up with me.
Vocalized
and she planned on breaking up with me for so long, and it's like, oh cool. She was planning on breaking up with me like before I took her to that 9 Inch Nails Jane's Addiction concert, and before I got her that 3DS for her birthday, which is like one of the most expensive gifts I've ever given anybody. And it's like oh, good to know. By the way, just pro tip for all of you out there: if you're thinking of breaking up with somebody and you don't think it's gonna work, just fucking do it.
Yeah.
Because the worst thing you can do to somebody is poison their memories retroactively by showing them that secretly you weren't happy the whole time.
Yeah.
And now they know that, and now all those memories are gone.
Yeah.
Like, if you're happy for a while, and then you stop being happy, and then you break it off, then it's like, oh, well, it didn't work out.
Yeah, just move on.
We were happy at one point. But finding out retroactively that your relationship was a lie the whole time, basically, and that the person was planning on breaking up with you forever and stuff like that.
They just never got
just means that
it.
every memory you have with that person is retroactively ruined by the fact that they were basically just pretending the entire time.
Yeah.
It's like, that's really some fucked up shit.
It is. I mean, that's fucked up.
That's why because I've broken up with two people, and like I just do it.
Yeah, that's how I've done it too.
I just deal with the fallout, but I just do it because
that's the way I am as well. I don't
pretending and forcing.
I can't.
Is like also that is I can't lie to people generally, but also like I don't want to do that.
I don't. Ever. But I don't want to play like this weird.
It's like it's not
eggshell game of like I'm still happy.
Well, it's just like people act like you're. They try to pretend that they're doing it for the other person's sake.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I don't want to hurt them or something like that. It's like, no, you're being selfish.
Yeah, you're activly hurting
protecting
a person.
Yourself and hurting them. Like, you're specifically only hurting them.
Yes.
Every day you continually pretend to be into this relationship.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like, and it's so selfish. It immediately destroys all respect I have for that person, and I can't be around them anymore because I'm like, I don't actively hate them or like are revolted by them or like angry at them. I'm like, you're fake and bad.
Yeah, it's just
and
like it's
not. I
not
don't want to talk to you because I don't believe our conversations count even now.
Even as not in a relationship, I can't trust our conversations.
That's one of the reasons we get along so well for all these years is that we like are really blunt and honest all the time and obnoxious about it.
That's
why people hate us.
Yeah, that's why I feel like it's one of those things though. There are people who do that, and yes, there are relationships you might be in that are like that, where you are blunt and honest, and it's like good relationships. But I think I think to sum up most marriages, almost all marriages, is the BoJack Horseman quote of when you look at a relationship with rose-colored glasses, all flags look like all red flags look like flags.
Oh yeah, the one that was from PB from Friends.
That's such a
Which I never stopped being distracted by. It was just
she was an owl.
Friends, and she's an owl.
But it's such a good quote because that's
like, if you're looking through your relationship with the rose tinted glasses, all the red flags just look like flags.
And that's like the summary of why most people, probably most people in your parents' generation, got divorced. It's because they live these.
It's a rough one.
Yeah, they live these lives.
That was a rough quote.
Oh, it is a rough quote.
That fucking show.
It hurt, but it's such a true quote that most people don't think about when they get, especially just even a relationship, a regular relationship.
One of the reasons we're both drawn to that show, I think, so much is because it just has this raw honesty.
It's so
about every episode.
It's so raw. It just hurts you so much every time.
Just so we're clear, by the way, I'm doing that thing where I don't really argue with Andrew that much when he's doing a thing. But I don't fully agree with him on the whole. Literally, all relationships are doomed and impossible.
Well,
I'm also that given infinite time, the concept of marriage might be doomed.
Yeah,
if you're immortal.
Well, that's what I more or less
mean. I think
mean.
people can be in a happy relationship and it works out their whole lives and then they die.
Well, yeah, our grandparents do it.
No, our grandparents are not doing it.
Well, who's doing it then? Because I don't see it.
weirdly enough, I can't.
Is it stay-at-home moms? Are they the ones that are achieving this goal? Are we not doing it right, Keith? Do we have to be stay-at-home dads? Is that how we can succeed in marriages?
Marriage might be easier with stay-at-home moms or stay-at-home people. I'm not even joking. Like, I'm not talking about like this anti-feminist, like, fuck you, don't get jobs, you don't deserve to be a person.
Someone should stay home.
I'm saying that like
some significant other should be at home.
What I'm saying is that like, yeah, the happiest relationships I've seen in many cases are ones where like only one of them really works and the other person gets to just do shit.
But I think it's not that they do shit. It's that they are taking care of the things that are the stresses after work.
Yeah.
So like the cooking, the cleaning, the things that the person working doesn't want to do.
Not even just that, but like I live with a couple right now.
Yeah.
And like they're still relatively newly married, so it's hard to tell. But like I don't see any signs of friction as an outsider at the very least. And it's really it seems like things are going fine. But yeah, like she's just home all the time. Like we just hang out and chat sometimes because we're just home.
We're both in the same place.
Yeah. At the moment right now, our household is 3 people that are home all the time and 1 person that works. That works not at home.
Poor Marty.
Because I work at home.
Poor Marty.
And our other roommate got fired.
Oops.
So he's finding his new job right now. So it's just people are home all the time and I hate it.
Yeah.
I need to go away. But it used to be that no one was home except for Scythe, and that guy was a dick. No, he was fine. He's just weird. He was a strange person. He would go out into the backyard and just lay down in the weeds and then come in covered in like thistles and shit and then just track him into the house. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a weird person.
He'd be laying in the thistles with his laptop, working on his laptop and like freelance programming outside. Like, are you like a robot? And it was a time to consume vitamin D, so you needed to lay outside for a day.
Yeah, honestly,
just in the gross.
He needed to.
He used to always there used to be so many more spiders in the house back then when he was there, because I'm pretty sure they'd be on his body and he'd bring them in and then they'd escape into the house basically, along with all the thistles and shit. There would just be like spikes on the ground.
Buy a fucking set, like a patio set, and just put it out there.
I don't know.
And you could have like a table, and then you could soak vitamin D in. That's weird.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, I had the same thing when my old roommates lived here, and because there was a married couple as well, and the wife wasn't for a while. She wasn't employed because she was finishing up, like she was doing college stuff, or no, she was employed, but she was like very lowly part-time employed, so worked like 1 or 2 days a week, and then she was trying to transition into a full-time job, and so she was home a lot, and so it was like. Everything seemed perfect with him though, because it was like she would just do all the stuff that and he would just come home and not have to do anything. Like he would just food would be ready and he wouldn't have to clean anything. And
I think ultimately, like, the easier life is, the easier a relationship can be.
Yeah,
and the harder life is, the more that relationship is tested and problem and I'm sure. Yeah, happens. And some people probably can overcome so, like,
it.
I'm not saying like housewives, like let's repeal feminism or whatever the fuck, and like go back to everyone being housewives. I'm saying like that is an era where money just happened.
Yeah,
it's like more money existed.
You know what? It's a
jobs you would do.
I think it's like a modesty.
So you could just be one guy with like a 5-person family, and you're the one job.
Yeah,
and then but everyone's happier when no one's working. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, it's like but it's also kind of like a modesty thing, because most of those people lived more modestly in sense of they didn't like try to buy grandiose houses. They didn't try to have bigger, better things. And when 2 people are having income, you try to go big. You try to go bigger and bigger and bigger.
Some of those people have crazy ass houses, though.
Yeah, but I'm saying like there are a lot of like when my grandparents.
Do you think they build shittier houses on average now to make them marketable for the economy?
Yes.
Like they probably don't make great houses anymore.
No, they don't.
Because no one will be able to.
No one will be able to buy them anyways. But it's like I think
I'm making myself sad. I'm probably making people sad.
Yeah, it's fine.
Get sad.
I mean, to answer your question though, yes, I can iron. I can iron. What was the other part of that?
Remember problems. Come on, get sad now.
A guided
you
tour.
Better follow all your. I can't do it.
Guided tour of.
I kept singing "Get Happy" during her mother. And I was like, I'm trying to reverse it for this little thing because of what we're doing right now. But it's really hard to reverse engineer every lyric to be sad on the fly. I was like, remember problems. Come on, get sad now.
There you go.
I couldn't do the.
to, let's see, what is that? Guided tour of very complicated hardware setup. That would probably be like a vlog I would do, if anything.
Subscribe to Andrew's channel and keep commenting about that question over and over again until he finally vlogs how complicated this room is. We really can't podcast that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna,
because I don't really understand a lot of stuff around me right now. I don't know what the fuck he did with some of the stuff, but also if we move anything, it'll probably break.
Yeah.
So Andrew will have to walk around with a camera sometime.
Yeah, I just have to walk around with a camera.
Just be on his channel. So he's been doing vlogs lately. You can keep seeing his house and shit.
Yeah,
exciting. These podcasts only get longer, huh?
They do.
Every podcast I have less to talk about, seemingly. Then we just do it.
Well, we keep running into more and more random topics.
I mean, my car crash prompted an hour of conversation.
Yeah, and we developed into the topics we developed into today were like baby boomers fucking the world up, and also like marriages are bad. Like
someone asked about ironing, and we talked about
bad marriages and stay-at-home moms.
The American nuclear family.
Yeah, it's. Look, I'm just saying. Sometimes,
but on the previous economic topic, it's just that like because of my experience and every experience I've talked to about other people and encountered about how like lives work and generations work and how everyone has completely different outcomes, and then they just try to retroactively explain how they got there.
Yeah, it's
kind of like how like it actually reminds me of like how like shut up Taylor Swift, don't talk about following your dreams or some shit, or like Danny Sexbang is like, just follow your dreams, it'll be great. It's like you fell into this shit. And I know that because you've told the stories about how you got here, and that's not a preachable life goal at all.
Yeah,
like so many people are successful on accident, and so many people are unsuccessful despite fighting tooth and nail just to survive.
Yes.
So like I get mad at anyone, including family or anyone else who like judges somebody based on like their economic situation or their family situation, like stuff like that. Like people who
what's funny?
Make sweeping judgments about other people's lives while not having to live their life.
Yeah,
are some of the most reprehensible people to me.
It's funny to me because like that was the one thing I took away from Europe, is that like everywhere I kept going in Europe, I was like, all of this looks like trash. All of you look like you, like I kept looking. It was like no, and I looked. I was like, none of you look like you live in like none of you look like you're succeeding. All of you look like you're living in hovels and you're failing at life, because none of these places looked like America. Like America has these fucking giant homes, and like people have cars and they have like big yards and motorhomes and boats, and people do shit and they're like always active, and like but like Europe's just like modesty almost, but not modesty because they want to be. It's because like we don't got the. We don't have the room. We don't have
There was like there's a photography series this guy did. I don't remember what it was for exactly, but he would go to each country and have that household take all of their belongings and put it on the front lawn.
Yeah,
like lay it all out, and you'd see like what kind of stuff goes into the home of each different house in different countries. And America's fucking out of control in a way that I can't even understand, because I'm like, how the fuck did you afford that shit?
Yeah.
And like you like the British people, or you like Zimbabwe, like a bunch of different locations, and it's like that was a really cool photo series.
It's such a good example of like, you ask anybody in America and they'll be judgy and they'll tell you like failure and success and like how to determine it. You go to a European, you're like, I only have like one 4K TV. They're like, that seems like enough. What's wrong? And it's like, no, I need one for every room. And they're like, what the fuck is no? Why? How many rooms do you even have?
I don't own a television.
That's the thing. And somebody, I bet you.
It's not even that I don't own cable. I don't own a TV.
You said that. I bet you there's Americans who are going to judge you about that.
Yeah.
They're going to say like, how do you not have a TV? I have a TV.
I've gone so far beyond cutting the cable that I literally don't own a television.
And you know what the worst part is? The people who are going to judge you are going to be younger people. They're going to be young kids who say like, I even have a TV. That's the problem, kid. You have a TV and you're not even an adult. Like, why do you have one in your room? I had one. I had 3 in my room growing up.
3 televisions?
3 televisions.
Like monitors or whatever?
I had 2 monitors and 3 televisions.
In the same room? They plugged in?
Yes.
Why?
Because I needed one for stuff to watch, like, to watch TV on when I'm in bed. I had one to play video games on, and then I had another one. I don't know why I had that other one. But in the same room. Because the way my room was set up is like I wanted to have.
What the fuck?
Yeah. And it was rational to me. Look at this room. I have 4. 2 of these are TVs. 2 of these monitors. That's a TV. There's a TV right there. Then I have 3 monitors.
The screens in my room, my office bedroom combination is I have a cell phone, I have a primary monitor and I have a
jazz.
secondary monitor.
Yeah.
Which is mostly because I need to like, you know, play games on this monitor while recording.
And check
recording
OBS
stuff,
on another one.
Yeah, recording stuff on that monitor, or like edit on this screen while like running a YouTube video on that screen, or like some multitasking stuff.
Two monitors is efficient. Like
Yeah.
it just makes things more efficient.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean if it was up to me, I'd have like 4 monitors for the one computer.
I'll probably eventually have 3 monitors.
But it's
when
like
I
that,
scale up and I'm in a location where they'd actually fit or something.
Yeah.
'Cause middle screen would be the game, left screen would be OBS recording stuff and like Discord, like that kind of stuff, and right screen would be my information screen. There's so many games where some form of reference material would be useful, like how this weapon works or how this something works in the thing, like an explanation that I can actually glance at without having to like make it disappear every time I start playing, would be really useful for like Monster Hunter and shit like that.
That's what streamers do usually. They have like the 3. They'll have like the one where it's OBS, they'll have the game, and then they'll have another monitor that's just chat. And so that way they can keep track of the chat in one.
But also that other monitor could just be like an iPad or something, like a tablet, something larger than this at least.
Yeah, but
just as a reference. But I've never owned a tablet.
But I feel like it's necessary. Like I'm planning to move, and I'm thinking like, well, what do I got to bring? And I keep having to be told like, just you can buy it again if you need it. Just but you got to
think about how like you just need to stop buying anything for the next year.
Yeah, but like
whatever.
And so
because if you're gonna move, then you probably will lose anything you buy.
Yeah, and so my thing is like now I have to think about life in a perspective of like,
and then just write it all to your sister and your will.
Not ownership. Yeah, like I basically have to say like I don't need the thing, so I'm not gonna buy it. But like, so what do I need? It's like I need a chair and a bed.
I'm blown away by all my friends lately because like I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm terrified all the time of like I'm just keeping my life in order and shit like that. And all my friends are fucking jumping ship. Like so many people I know are just like, yeah, I'm just gonna move to Washington. I'm just gonna move to Seattle. I'm just gonna move to Kansas. I'm just gonna move to Europe and Japan. I'm like, how did you even get there?
You gotta go, man.
Like I'm like holy shit.
I personally I'm leaving because it's like I can't like
Max is like some sort of weird high tech vagrant.
Max, I don't know. Max life, is literally if his life could be quantified, it's like what he's a digital gypsy. I want to capture Max one day and get him on this podcast and just have him explain his life to me for the last 5 years. Yes, because I don't know how it works. I know how it works and it's interesting, but I would rather have him explain it. Because he's like, I'm just going to go to the monkey farm for 6 months where we raise monkeys. And he's just like cutting the cord and not having property or a house. He doesn't have like he leaves to somewhere. All he has is a phone and Wi-Fi. And then he has no like calling power. He has no like anything. And then when that's over, he's like, oh yeah, back to now I'm working at PayPal and I'm living in San Francisco. I'm like, how did you just fucking switch back to that? And then he went to like touring Europe and he went to like the giant Jesus statue and shit. And then he's like, yeah, now I work at Google. I'm like, he's like living in the Google village and shit. And I'm like, what is your life? How does that work? How do you just fucking switch in? It's people. It's knowing people. It's networking. Like, I mean, Max is a very, very, very social person. He's a super networky person. Yeah, like Max is like the one. I feel like Max was our divergent point in our how much we hung out with each other is when he discovered how much of an extrovert he was. Yeah, and started going to like 17 raves a month and shit like that. And I'm like, you went to the people place with the lights and loudness. He is like insane. We used to just hang out and play WoW all day. Like he actually moved in because like my brother and I had rooms next to each other in our old house. Yeah, is the upstairs part of the old house. Yeah, I remember that. And in my brother's house, my brother had the bigger room, like twice the size of mine. So he had this extended desk. So my Max would just he'd bring like a cot to sleep on and his entire computer and just set up on the extended desk. And so the 3 of us were in 2 rooms just near each other, and we'd just be playing like WoW or whatever the fuck. Yeah, and that would be our weekend basically. And then he goes on to be Psycho Raver Man, to be Monkey Razor, to be Tech Man. I'm like, the way he goes about his life is very interesting. It's definitely the right way, which is the weird thing to say. It's like the way he lives his life. Don't settle down. Don't have any security. Don't have a property. Yep, don't have any career trajectory. Yes, just keep working shit. If you live, wasn't he a chef for 3 months or something? He did. I mean, Max's that level of fucking roulette wheel life. His philosophy is just like it's life is life. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. If not, it doesn't. Like, he's just going to keep going at it. And
like, it's been so hammered into my brain to be terrified of where I'm going in life and how I'm going to afford a house and things like that.
That's how like anxiety works. It's like you become people get so anxious and wrapped up because they're like terrified of the future, terrified of like the situation. They don't know if they're going to succeed or fail.
It's literally the antithesis of being a YouTuber.
Yeah, but
as a YouTuber, you're like, you have to consistently be doing a thing all the time forever because that's your job.
Yeah.
And like you gotta, or it's like, he's just like,
and like, honestly, and Max
like in fact, he has tried multiple times to do YouTube and he can't
because
he doesn't stick to it for more than like 3 months, which means it goes nowhere. He's made multiple channels himself, and so has my brother. And my brother and him have made channels together multiple times, and they just don't like they'll start doing like League of Legends guides or whatever, or comedy vlogs for like a week and then disappear.
Yeah,
it never happens again. It's like, that's not how you grow an audience. It'll never work that way. There's a selection bias inherently to the people that are big on YouTube, unless they're like Casey Neistat, I guess.
Yeah, I mean but it's like just such a better way to live when you don't have that kind of shackle.
I'm sure it's great.
Like I think Max has like the least amount of stress I've ever seen in a human.
I'm not programmed that way.
Yeah, I'm not either, but I'm trying to. I'm like forcing myself to do that basically.
Like that's what you're doing right now.
Yeah, it's like that's the healthiest way I could.
For me, the problem is how yours makes more sense.
Well, I'm not being as ludicrous as Max. Like I'm not literally going to the wilds. You're planning
a big life change, which is a little different.
Yeah,
Max, because what you said is right. Is like his insane network is required.
Yeah,
like I think he just falls into people's houses, kind of like.
I don't think that's an inaccurate statement. Like, he literally does fall into people's houses. Like I think Max showing up here was a falling into my house situation.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, like the couple of times we recorded with him, he's just like, it's like, let's just be here for a day, and then he disappears for 2 years or something.
Yeah.
Like,
he can just come back.
Gone now.
But like, and he's like that.
He's like, he was we did our entire Viking squad playthrough in one day.
Yeah,
and that was like, never saw Max again. Bye, Max.
Yeah, and then he went to go work at Google.
That was when he was. Was that when he was back from the monkey farm?
No, to put it in perspective, we recorded Viking Squad. But like, Max left.
I think he has some kind of safety net of like he has his family here, but also like I think he just knows so many people that he can instantly find someone to live with for a few months.
He could couch surf for probably like 2 solid years. Yeah. I can imagine with his networking, and not even just in America. He could probably couch surf here, get a part-time job, and then fly.
Thing going on where like I think his life is like, his life might be like a phone, a laptop, and a bank account. I think that's basically his whole life. Like he talks to me every now and then like, hey, I've been looking to getting back into gaming or something like that, because like he'll be so disconnected because he's really into gaming on some level, but it's so incompatible with what he does a lot of the time.
It's a hobby that he enjoys doing randomly.
Yeah, he'll just come out of nowhere like, I've been hearing about this PUBG or something. Like he comes in to talk to me like he's a grandpa sometimes. Yeah. To like dip his head back into video games for a second because he's so out of the loop, and go straight to me on Facebook to figure out what the fuck to do again, basically. And it's fascinating. Like, he's so limited in his exposure, but also in like what he can even run because of what he's got. In his life.
But the thing is that he's not.
He just doesn't have belongings.
But he's not
crazy.
Like.
We're like hyping up a fantasy superhero.
Well, yeah, it sounds like
he's like a fairy tale man.
But yeah, it sounds. But you have to. So here's the thing: is why before anybody thinks like, "Wow, that sounds really cool." Preferences is that Max is not living a like lavish lifestyle. When he goes and works in the monkey farm, it's like it's not a monkey farm with like a mansion. He's not getting paid. Basically, he's making just enough to survive. And that's it, because it's a place that isn't profiting. And so,
the monkey farm, I don't think paid him at all. He literally just worked there and they fed him. Yeah, was just like, you just live here.
He basically was a farmhand. Yeah, for like months,
which he did for fun.
Yeah, but he just.
I mean, while you're doing that, all your expenses don't exist.
He doesn't have electricity. He doesn't have water. He has he has nothing to pay for. No phone. No nothing.
Yeah, he just took a break from society, kind of.
And that's what I'm saying is like he's not.
And everyone's freaking out because I remember on Facebook, everyone's like, "You're gonna die.
Yeah,
you're gonna get stabbed. You're gonna get mega diseases."
Oh, I've been getting that relentlessly since I said like where. Like, especially if it was like where I want to move.
You're moving to Europe, you're going to get taken.
Yeah. I'm just like, I'm waiting for that moment Like,
we gotta cut this off.
yeah, but
Thanks
basically,
for watching, guys. Send your questions to Sit and Discuss.
do it.
What is it?
I was gonna say, basically, don't think. It's Sit and Discuss Podcast at gmail.com.
SitAndDiscussPodcast at gmail.com. I said I finally remembered to put it on the screen last time, and it was mine.
Oh, was it?
Did you catch that?
No.
It was like Keith Ballard questions or whatever from my Dead Q&A series.
God
so I've been
Keith.
I've been having to check I'll get a folder. I got a message from Colonel RPG that I had to drag into this folder. I was like, oh shit,
son of a bitch. But yeah, I think next time we'll just try to hammer out only questions because we have such a backlog.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, we'll start it off doing our regular thing, but we need to set a timer.
The people we get to are probably psyched about how our question spawns a bizarre 30-hour odyssey.
Oh, I'm sure. Whoever sent the ironing question, I'm so sorry.
I was really confused when I realized. Yeah, you even called back. It's like, so that's how you iron. And I'm like,
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's where we started.
I'm so sorry. But yeah. Also, don't think Mac's lifestyle is great. You should probably look into it before doing it. Goodbye.
Goodbye.